Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a Where's the Beef? It's right here, Buster! Edition of Monster Party.
Monster
Monster Party.
Monster Party. Monster Party. Oh, boy.
Chiseling.
Oh,
Monster Party.
do I have a bone to pick with Monster Party? Oh,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. And I think we all do, right? We all have gripes and grievances, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
We
yeah.
do.
James?
Oh, yeah.
Making a list, checking it twice.
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah, I mean, we all have things that bug us. And speaking of someone who might bug you, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN SHERIDAN.
I am Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James GONIS.
And the topic for this episode is Monster Party's Bone Pickers.
Monster
Bone
Party's Bone
Pickers.
Pickers.
Monster Party Bone Pickers, which we should
Picking
sell,
bones.
by the way, as merch.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We should sell Bone Pickers.
But Matt, when we've gone to conventions, there are people who tell us their issues. They tell us
Absolutely.
their,
Yes.
their complaints or something.
Yes, yeah.
And-
And
and
it's
some-
always entertaining to hear that kind of stuff.
Well, because sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
More fun when we disagree.
Well,
So this is like bones to pick.
Agree.
Right. Thank you, Sean, for clearing this up. Yes. It's, you know, the phrase, I have a bone to pick with you. It started, I think, during Prohibition. Well, we're bringing it back. And when we say we've got a bone to pick, it's that we've got a gripe, a grievance. And so that's
Yeah.
what we're going to do. We're going to kick those around and we're going to have some fun with it, I think.
yeah, but I just want to state, it's not like we're four grumpy old men. These
We're
are
not.
No. because we're happy people. They're
Shiny and happy.
You have that you listeners have as well. I'm sure that you can relate. You're gonna go, oh, Larry, you are so right.
We're making the world a better place because we're shining light on these things in order to improve things.
Yes.
Yeah, and let's
Yes.
keep things in context here. When we say we have gripes and grievances, they're like our kind of gripes and
Yeah,
grievances.
monster kid stuff.
Yeah, nothing tremendously serious.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Well,
wipe your brow.
it depends.
well,
I mean-
serious subjectively, maybe. Larry.
Right, unless you're a psychotic fan person
Well,
who attacks violently through the internet.
did you have to bring that up? One time.
I'm right here. Well, this is the kind of action that I'm looking for from this episode. So let's
go.
get started, shall we?
All right.
Do it. Go.
Does anybody have something right off the bat that they would like to talk about?
Well, I'll start.
Well,
Awesome.
you are kind of our curmudgeon.
Resident curmudgeon.
You will show us the way, James.
I mean, I think it's appropriate that you start.
Yes, this is kind of your episode, so
I mean,
take it
You
away.
know,
How often do we say, "Oh, is this neat?" And James goes, "Oh, that's dumb. I couldn't get through it. Oh, I mean, come on."
How often do we say, I want to hear what James has to say? Come on.
I can't remember honestly if I brought this up, but the last movie I remember going to see in a theater was Godzilla -1.
Okay.
Obviously, it was a big event. It was special.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And I don't get out to the theater that often. I mean, I went to The Rise of Skywalker because it was a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I make a point of getting there on time, not early, but on time. And, now with every movie screening, you got to select a seat. Okay, it's not Broadway, but okay, I'll select a seat. I know where I'm sitting. Pay whatever you have to pay, whatever it's like $20,
It's steep.
It's
These
steep.
days.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I get there. I'm like, okay, I'm on time. That's cool. And I like trailers. I like sitting through trailers. But what started when I sat down was commercials.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They weren't like the entertaining, clever commercials. They were just banal, boring commercials. So I'm
Right.
just like, I got here. I made a point of getting here on time to sit through, and it was 30 minutes of commercials.
Wow.
Or no, is
I
that
don't
an
doubt it.
exaggeration,
I got
James?
so pissed
30
off.
minutes.
So pissed off. And then, there's the concessions. I mean, if you're smart nowadays, if you're frugal, you'll bring your own concessions. You'll bring your own snacks.
Sure.
Candy, whatever, because you know what they're going to charge.
There's a basket of meatloaf. No, I get it.
Even though there's a sign
Taco
outside
Bell, whatever,
saying, you cannot bring in your
He's
own
you know what?
food.
We
You're
don't
a
live by
rebel.
we don't live by your rules, Larry.
No,
right.
apparently not.
But ultimately, I'm just like, you know what? This just sucks. I mean, I'm paying so much for what's supposed to be, a premium experience. And I feel like I'm getting inconvenienced. I feel like it's actually kind of insulting. And I was reminded, well, this is precisely why I don't go to the theater that much anymore. And I know that there's a whole culture that laments, the death of theatrical experience. People, on the Oscar stage are like, oh, get back into the theater. Just like, you know what? Fuck you. I've had it. I'm not paying $8 for a bucket of popcorn.
There he is.
And,
Yep,
$10 for a soda.
No, you're right. Yeah.
I don't care about the free refills. This is price
they are
gouging.
gouging you. They
It's
are
price gouging.
absolutely taking advantage of you and
you
dare
can
I say, taking you from behind.
Yes, that's how it feels. And you can say, oh, well, we have to, Jim Carrey has to make 10 million, or he did it at one time. Tom Cruise has to make, $100 million. So this is why everything's going up. It's like, I'm not responsible for Tom Cruise making $100 million. You know what? I'm just going to not watch it. I'm just not going to go to the theater. I've got a 68-inch TV screen at home, flat screen, and I can just watch it in high def. What's the point?
Not only that, James, not only that, sometimes those commercials, whatever, they're like little programs. Like you get there's some kind of personality woman who does a podcast, who of course plugs her podcast at the end. She's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. Welcome to like the theater on the go, whatever. And she'll say, I know what's the movie's coming up. What's hot right now? Like it's a little show, hosted by some personality in between all the commercials and Coke commercials. And it's weird. It's like, it's gotten so elaborate now. They're like little productions, not just trailers.
They're robbing minutes of our lives we will never get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and then who's ever played the trivia game? Because
that kind of stuff. Hey.
What famous science fiction movie is Blank Wars? I mean,
it's like the TV Guide crossword puzzle level,
Right.
Yeah, really.
Well, I agree with all of that, James. And my reason for wanting to avoid the theater, and that doesn't include like a Revival House or certain kind of theaters like the New Beverly or something like that. But when you go to the, a big theater to see a big summer blockbuster type movie, the problem that I have is people. Because people, if it's an empty theater, Ken Daly and Mel and Carrie and I sometimes will go to these theaters. There's this one theater that's out here in the valley that's always empty, and it's beautiful, and they've got these reclining seats, and it's wonderful. The minute people start coming in, someone's taking off their shoes, they're putting their feet up.
Right.
We've become animals, and I don't know why. Look, it's a theater. You're with other people. People are trying to have their own theatrical experience here. And you're ruining it by talking too loud. And you know what happens. If someone is in the theater and they're talking too loud or whatever their problem is, and you turn and you say anything to them. It is going to be a fight. Like a physical fight. And so then it's like, well, so I can get into a fight with this guy and then what? Return to the movie? Watch the rest of it? No.
It's ruined.
Well, not only that, Matt, how about people who, during the movie, in the dark, people checking their text messages, which even if they have their sound off, the light goes on their phone and they're right next to you. It's like, you did pay to see this movie, right? And you're sitting there checking your phone?
I forgive an accident. They get the thing and then they go, they pull out their phone and then they tap it and they turn it off. That's okay. But if it's like, now I'm doing my taxes on the phone.
Yeah. It's really unbelievable. It seems like people have forgotten the whole, not just the etiquette, but just the idea that
common courtesy.
You're going into a theater, like you said, with other people, and you're going to just behave and have a shared experience with other people and be polite. It's just, it doesn't seem to exist anymore.
And you know how it is in Japan, right? In Japan, Japan, you go to a movie and they take that shit seriously. It's silence.
Respectful.
No, that was actually the last movie I went to see in the theater was in Tokyo. I went to see Monster Zero on my birthday last year. And you could have heard a pin drop. Nobody laughs when Godzilla does the dance. There is not a single Twitter and anybody in the audience. It's just like everybody's really respectful. And it was a packed house. You couldn't hear anybody. That's
I want
how they
half and
it.
half. I want you know, I don't want it too one way or to the other. It'd be nice to have a little sprinkling of like you could enjoy the movie the way it was intended to be enjoyed.
Enthusiasm.
But just don't act like a jerk. Stop pretending like you don't know what's bad behavior. Nobody wants your feet up on the seat. Nobody wants to hear you have a giant conversation. But the reason you're doing that is because you're an asshole. And everywhere you go, you are an asshole. And so, and it's this roll of the dice when you go to the theater of whether that person's going to come to your life. And I've been experiencing it more and more. So every time I go, I'm like, oh, I hope we get a good bunch. And the last couple times I have been lucky. And so that fills me with a little bit of hope.
But the price of the concessions it was always high, but I think because of just general inflation, they feel like they can justify insane prices for popcorn versus, it's the profit margin. It's costing them maybe a quarter and they're charging $8. And I have no sympathy for theater owners just by the virtue of that. It's I think it's going to go away, except for revival houses like the New Beverly. And I got no sympathy.
Okay. Yeah. This is great. You guys bitching. You sound like about 3 old diaper wearing nannies. I swear to God.
Hey, don't knock wearing a diaper.
Really, James. You're saying, to those people out there who say, go to the theater. Well, fuck you. Well, fuck you.
Maybe I'm not a regular Joe, Larry.
No.
This I gotta hear.
What you're doing is, first of all, you want to destroy. You want to destroy the whole theater experience. And let me tell you something, my friend. I love going to the theater. I love having that experience. I was writing all these things down. First of all, you said commercials for 30 minutes.
That's what it was.
30 minutes.
Yes.
Now, so my question to you is, you said, you got there on time. So you got there right when the film, just before the film was scheduled to start, and then they showed 30 minutes, and you timed it.
Yes.
I've had at least 20 minutes.
Okay.
At least 20 minutes.
Okay, because what I really believe is you are totally exaggerating. Now, I'm not sure what theater you went to. I went to AMC. I've gone to the AMC theaters, and they have this standard package where, the film is supposed to start at 1:00. You get there like 5 or 10 minutes beforehand. You go get your popcorn, you sit down. And yes, James, there are commercials. And you know what? I actually don't care. And I'll tell you why. There was something that we had in our country called COVID. And people didn't go to the movie theaters. All those owners that you hate so much to keep their theaters open, they lost a ton of money.
Good.
And they were in jeopardy of closing. They've done so much to try to create a great positive theater experience. Those chairs, the ones that I went in AMC, they're now larger. They have recliners. They try to do a thing where you can order food from the restaurant.
And then your ticket is $30.
No, I let you talk. Now you let me talk. So they're trying to get people back in the theater. Yes, James, the food at the theater has always been expensive. When you go to the movie theater, you're going to be paying $8 to $10 for that large size popcorn. That's a standard. And so what you do is you bring your candy bar.
What you do is you don't go. You stay home.
You see, James, I think you have a thing about not wanting to be in that giant room with other people. You don't
not wanting to spend $60.
No. It does. No, James, have you gone to a matinee? You can go to a matinee. You can go to the second showing in the afternoon. There are other things, but to see it on a big screen with the sense surround thing, and I know what you say. Well, on my big TV screen, I can have the sense surround all around me. Oh, and the other thing, you go, I don't want to have to pay for Tom Cruise or Jim Carrey. Well, buddy, it's the theaters. They're not raising those prices for Tom Cruise or Jim Carrey. Yeah, that is what it costs to try to keep a theater in business. And
Well,
and look,
Larry,
and you're right, James. It's it may go away. It is true. It may go away, like the drive-in theater or some of the other really cool things that we had as kids. I want to go. I want to promote them. And as far as like you guys, because I started to write things down. Oh, people, taking their shoes off. Guys, I get it, but it's like I don't know what theaters you go to. Yeah, every once in a while there's some clown that does that, but the one that I went to. Actually, the several I went to, the audience was just great. They were quiet.
Well,
They laughed.
Larry, it
And
depends
I want
too.
phones. And
it depends on it depends on the movie, especially if it's a big event, like a big Marvel movie, but also they have this thing called D-Box, which is like the seats do rumble, and that's great. And like the IMAX, if it's 3D like that, depending on the movie itself, can be a great experience. Like we saw Tron Ares in the theater with the D-Box, and no matter what you think of the movie, first of all, like I give the whole Tron franchise a big pass because I just want to see fucking light cycles driving through a real city, and they gave me that in spades. I loved it. I just love sitting there and being immersed in that visually. Yeah. And in that particular case, there wasn't a lot of people in the theater, but everybody was cool. But it just depends. Yes, people can be totally annoying, and that you get some bad eggs. That can ruin the experience. But I do, for certain films, I do want to go to the theater and see the spectacle, before my eyes, giant, bigger than life. But I have to admit, though, I go to the theater less and less. I save it for those big movies that I think will really benefit from that.
Well, the thing about text messages and phones, every theater has a thing that they say about don't check your phone.
But nobody pays attention to it.
But nobody pays attention to it.
Well,
they really don't.
Guys, I don't know what theaters you go to. The last one I went to, yes, it's true that a guy down front, as the film was going on, a phone went off, and the person quickly took it out of their pocket and
that's an accident.
Turned
that's
it
fine.
off.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And that's gonna happen. Does it totally?
That's okay.
Oh shit! I gotta get up now because I got the whole movie experience has been wrecked. No,
we're not saying that.
Wreck it for me. The thing about it is, ever since motion pictures were made, they started in this room with a lot of people, and there's something about seeing a film with other people.
Yeah, I understand that.
Relate to and get to. That's something that I love. I love that experience. It's a common shared thing with all of these.
Which is how movies began.
Yes, and I look. Don't get me wrong. I love the theater experience at its best. The problem that I have is that I think in a lot of ways there's been some, like when it comes to security inside a theater, I think that is lax. And I think that especially when it comes to, James was talking all about the refreshments and popcorn and everything, they are absolutely gouging you. Now, I don't know, you must have, I know that you carry a lot of cash around. You're doing very well. So the idea that you can see a movie and spend like $100 on everything, that's great. But the rest of us can't. And so if they listen, hear me out now. I would absolutely be rooting for people going back to movie theaters if the minute somebody started acting up, there was a couple dudes that got him out of there like they do at a live theater show, and they actually started lowering the prices. And I'm not talking about now is a weird time with all the inflation and everything, but I'm just saying in general, if they could work it out so it would be cost effective for you, this would be a way to help save movies, because I love that experience. I remember going to see Star Wars and going to see Aliens and, those pivotal moments in the film where something happens and everybody at the same time goes, "Rah!" I'll never forget watching Star Wars for the first time. And when Han and Chewie showed up at the end, spoiler alert, and help save the day. I mean, everybody went nuts, and it was joyous. It was glorious. So I absolutely know what you're saying, Larry. I think the problem that I'm having and James is having is that there are some things that are tarnishing that experience, and we'd like them to change. I think if they did change, we'd go back.
See, I think James is done. I think James is done.
Well, James may be done.
I feel like it's a conspiracy.
Look at that room. He doesn't want to leave that.
It's a conspiracy to price gouge. It's like you can justify, oh, it's IMAX, oh, it's 3D, oh, we can charge another $5, $7. It's like, you know what? Just give me the old school. It doesn't have to necessarily be cheap, but let it be reasonable. And I don't have to, it's like, oh, I saw it in 4K or 10K or whatever. It's like, no, I'm not into that. I want a good movie. And another part of this, and this is a totally different conversation, is that I've been generally disappointed with movies in general. It's not like, if there were a brand new, like something to equal the original Star Wars experience, I'd be there and I'd be into it and I'd enjoy it and I wouldn't mind how much I paid for it. The fact of the matter is that, as we all know, it's been diminishing returns out of Hollywood. So that's a whole other conversation.
Well, but yeah, and Hollywood's kind of in trouble right now. But James, I'm going to piggyback on your thing about the gouging prices, because one of my bones to pick generally is just, why is entertainment in general so insanely expensive now? From concerts to events to amusement parks, it's just insane. The prices for things. Like a couple of years back, Gina and I went to the Cruel World Music Festival, and it was great. We got to see Iggy Pop and Susie and the Banshees, Human League, Gary Newman. It was awesome, but my God, I mean, I can't remember the prices of the actual concert, but then that's just one thing. Then there's the parking, and there's just like a small plastic cup of beer is like $18,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Disneyland parking.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Every little aspect of an event like that, they've added additional prices. It really is almost like you have to be literally wealthy to be able to continually and often go to like any kind of concert, amusement park, theater event. I mean, it's super, super expensive now.
Don't you think, though, that some of this, at least when it comes to music, I think part of that is the fact that because of the way that music is sold, and that, back in the day we could sell albums and CDs, and it's harder for a band to make money on that. And
I guess
so a lot of bands make their money through touring. Now, that doesn't excuse the astronomical amount of money that you are charged for concerts. No,
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm going to miss, and I was so happy that I saw the last shows of Kiss.
Right.
That cost a lot of money, but I felt like I was really given a show. And they weren't walking through it, and they were on for a long time. It's like Springsteen's another guy who does like these 4-hour shows. And so at least you're getting the most bang for your buck. But yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, some of these companies are treating us like suckers.
Yeah.
Well, and the theatrical experience, even when something is live, more often than not, in my experience, I'm watching it on Diamond Vision. I'm watching it on a big screen. I'm hundreds of feet away. And I hate to say it, but it's like if someone uploads this on YouTube and I can sit in my living room and save, I don't know, $400, well, I know it's not the same as actually being there, but to boil it down, the experience of being there has become less about the performance and just more about being with a community of fellow fans who are there to enjoy it. It's more about like, hey, everybody's here. It's a little bit like, what you said about Star Wars, Matt, but the actual performer, if I need binoculars, it's like, why am I paying hundreds of dollars?
Yeah, you're right. I saw The Who in the 70s, and I stood in line forever. I love The Who. And this is right after Keith Moon died. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I finally get my tickets, and I'm nosebleed. And I went to the show, and I saw him. I'm like, I think that's them. And this is even before the days when they had the cameras, where they would do it on the screen.
Right.
And
at least they have that now. But still, No, I mean,
it's
I
tough.
know.
Because again, Larry, I'm with you. I miss that experience. It's that feeling of wanting to go back in time and be a part of those pure events where everybody's on the same page and everybody's there to see Superman the movie, and we're all going to, come out of this with a little bit of a lift in our step.
Yeah, this is what's going to happen because it's a simple case of economics. So you mentioned Superman. So that's a big film. Okay, so the studios will have their big films. The problem is, like James or Sean said, geez, it's so expensive to go to these. So you get choosy. Instead of going to
It's
see
true.
the low budget film or the middle film, you're waiting for Superman to come out, and you're going to go to that. You're going to go see Superman. You're going to sit in the theater. You're going to pay the whatever, and James is going to regretfully, pay his, Red Vine money, and it's going to be like $50 or whatever. He's going to do that to see that. But this is what's going to happen. What's happened is all of those other smaller films, those are the ones that suffer. Matt, you mentioned music. Right. You went to the Who. There was a time when you would go to a bunch of concerts. Now you're saying, okay, well, of all these concerts, I would love to see everybody, but I can't because it's so expensive. So we'll go to the Kiss one. So there's Lady Gaga. There's Taylor Swift. There's these big ones that people, will go to. But what about the smaller ones? All the people who are trying to make it. And because if it's too expensive, then you don't go to that. So to complain that, well, Hollywood is doing a really suck job because they're trying to put all this money into the next Avatar or the next Superman. There's so many other cool things that, you could see. Because of the expense, you're not going to go to them. And that's the sad thing. So I will always try to go to the theater, regardless of if it's a big film or a small film.
I did too. But I got to tell you, though, it's because I find myself saying, it looks interesting, but I'll wait till it comes to streaming. I do. And because I can't, but also because
you pick your battles.
Yeah. But also because home entertainment, the technology of home entertainment, like James said, you can have surround sound, you can have amazing, huge TV flat screen. And also though, because movies and TV shows are almost indistinguishable now because of as far as production values go. When movies like Game of Thrones, every episode is a movie. It's a mini movie. So you're watching, some of these incredible, especially genre TV shows will look amazing on the big screen, but it's for television. So the difference of watching kind of a movie similar that is out in the theaters, but why not just watch it on your big screen TV? It's true. It's picking your battles. But
and by that argument, you could say, well, shit, why even bother go to a movie theater? And then what's going to happen is, so it's the whole Star Trek thing, the mentality when they were doing classic Star Trek, when they said, well, the sets aren't that great, the effects aren't that great. The response was, well, people are watching it on their little TV. So now it's like, oh, we're not creating something that's going to be on IMAX. Even if you have the biggest screen at home, it's not like an IMAX theater. And so you're going to, what people will say, what's the point of going to a theater? And maybe I'm too old fashioned. I don't want to let go of that experience. After the theater attendant, my first other job, I worked as a theater attendant. I worked at a movie theater for like 5 or 6 years.
I did too.
It was one of my favorite jobs. And I saw so many movies, good and bad, really bad ones. And that's where I developed this thing about, well, no one goes out of their way to make a bad film. And when you watch a bad film, there's something you could learn about it. Because, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I would never leave, even if it was a sucky film like DC Cab. I stayed through the whole thing. But I want to hold on to that. And, maybe I'm a dinosaur. Maybe as the years progress, theaters are going to go away. Just today, guys. Just today, I saw a thing. There's this San Jose history thing that pops up on my Facebook. And there were these great giant domed theaters in San Jose back in the late 50s through the early 2000s. It was like the Century Theater, Century 21, 22, 23. And there were these huge domed theaters. And that's where I saw Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. and all these great films. And now, as the history thing showed, the only theater that exists is the Century 21. It's the one dome theater. All the others were torn down. They built giant condos. And today they said, and now, they held it as like a historical landmark. And now they're changing it into like a workout facility. And I thought, my God, I
went to a gym like that.
It's granted, it's not necessarily a movie palace like the Pantages Theater in Los Angeles, but that was the big dome theater. That's what I grew up with. And to hear that today, I nearly cried because that was a time and age when it was magical to go to a movie in that giant theater and you had tons of people around you. And now I think those days are gone. I want to try to keep those want to continue that. I want to continue to go. And as far as Matt, your comment about, oh, Larry, you're making money. No, Matt, when I go to the theater, it's like I pay for the ticket. I'll try to go to a matinee, my friend. I'll try to go to a matinee. I don't mind.
You do the senior discount now?
No, well, okay. I'm not going to go there, but I'll go to the matinee, and sometimes I will pay the $10 for that popcorn because I feel like it's a special occasion. I want to have the popcorn. So, but sometimes I don't. So it's not like I'm throwing out cash. Oh, I want to get my red vines and my lemon heads and my jujubes. No. Really? I don't do that. No. Okay. I want to go and have the theater experience.
No, Larry, I get it. And again, I'm completely on your side. I totally understand.
I don't think you're on my side. I feel...
Did you hear anything that I said previously about how I understand how you like this experience? And the problem we're having is not the experience. It's the things that are making that experience bad or feeling like you're being taken advantage of. That's the problem we're having.
The price gouging. And just because the cost of living goes up doesn't mean that these things have to go up that much more exponentially. And Sean mentioned Disneyland. $200.
I mentioned Disneyland.
You want to talk about Disneyland? Are we switching to Disneyland now?
Well, look, I bitched plenty about Disneyland on a recent show, so I don't need to do that. But what I don't understand is how can I look around and there's families? It's like, how can you afford this? You have to like mortgage your house.
Everybody's maxed out on their credit cards
because they've saved for years and years.
Or if it's a couple times a year,
And the difference, James, I'm just going to say, Disney is a hugely successful company. Okay, like let's say Apple. Apple is a very successful company. Their bottom line, they're buying shit like crazy. They're enlarging. They're doing so many things. It's a very successful company. And you're right, James. I thought about this, how Disney, they could do something so wonderful by bringing that price down. You said $200.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What if you did this? Number one, okay, you brought that price down by a third, okay? And you go, oh, Larry, that's just way too much. Walt Disney's initial feeling was he didn't want people to have to break the bank to go to it. It was an experience for a family to go.
Yeah.
If you did that, okay, then you go, well, Larry, they'd have millions of people. No. It's like you capped the line. You say you only allow so many people to go in. Maybe they do a thing where you can make your reservation in advance, that you're going to, you pay in advance and you have a scheduled time when you go in. I'm throwing out things that if it sounds too crazy, let me tell you, this is the same company who created the stupid Genie Pass or Genie Fast Pass.
Yeah,
which
all
is
that crap.
Shit. If you spent so much time on that, there's a way that you could do it. I agree. But Disney is a successful company, and they are, talk about feeling like I'm really being gouged.
Well, that's it. That's it, though. That's what we're talking about. And with Disney, as you have said before, Larry, you'll say like, oh, they're a really successful company and they're just trying to make money. And why would they make the tickets cheaper and the parking cheaper if they can get it? They won't. And
in today's corporate
something
world,
has to break.
Right.
Well, it's funny because if you go back in Disney history, within the past 5 years, when Iger first left and Chapek came in, that was one of the things he did. It was like, well, people are going to pay all kinds of money. And there was this huge backlash. And essentially, which is kind of comical, Iger comes back after a year or two? Maybe it wasn't even 2 years. And Chapek was, hey, thanks for doing a great job. Here's a check for $20 million. Now go away. You don't work for Disney anymore. I mean, it was ridiculous. But Iger has since left. There's a new guy in who was he was in charge of all the movie productions. You're right. It's hard. It's kind of like with Apple having a product that everybody wants, and you think to yourself, well, shit, you're going to pay as much as, we're going to try to max this out as much as possible. What is that limit that you won't buy that iPhone? What is the limit that you won't buy that ticket to Disneyland? And let me tell you, it's hard, guys, as a parent for me,
I bet.
To look at me and go, Larry, you can't bring your 5-year-old kid to Disneyland.
Yeah.
First of all, we this is like years ago because my kid is now 20, but we planned to take her at age 5 and we put money together and we did save. Now that she's 20, she still loves to go to Disneyland, but it's it's a different thing. We don't necessarily go as a family. She goes with friends.
Could you at 5 years old? 5 years old, she's not that sharp. Like bring her to the county fair and go, oh look, hey, they changed it.
Guys, I got to tell you, I as a parent, when we didn't want to take her as a baby, I know people do that. I want Mickey to hold my baby. The baby's not going to know it's really for you. But at 5, we feel that she's seen enough Disney stuff.
Yeah,
she's aware of it. She knows.
That's when I went.
And guys, all the video I have of her at Disneyland, oh my, it's so magical. The look on her face when she was walking in Tweedledee and Tweedledum came and they were walking hand in hand with her. She had the biggest smile on her face. And as a parent, you want that. You want to make your kid happy. You will do. Yeah. And that's the thing that gets you. With Disneyland, they know.
No, they know. They got you. They got you.
Yes.
They made the Star Wars land.
Yeah.
You can't go to the Star Wars land unless you go to them.
That's right.
Right.
That is correct.
And so you're going to have to pay for it. But now it's like, I might as well fucking go to Westworld. Because Jesus Christ, it's almost as much.
Let's face it, isn't it, at Westworld, don't they have a place where the hookers are? I mean, the mechanical hookers.
Right, yeah. Look, if Disneyland offered a place where I could, have sex with a mechanical lady, then I'll pay that price.
When I first moved to LA, I rediscovered Disneyland because it had been years since I visited there as a tourist, and I loved it. And I was like, it's so great to live in a town where you could just drive for 40 minutes and be at this place.
Yeah.
And I went often, and I enjoyed it. And I didn't have to go on all the rides, and that was wonderful. Right. As an adult, I could just people watch. I could take in the environment and the atmosphere. But it didn't feel so gougy at the time. It felt reasonable. And I don't know if it's just because of inflation and cost of living, but after paying for the parking, after paying for the admission, especially if you're with a couple of people and you do the math, you go in there and you go into downtown Disney and I'm walking in one of their hundreds of gift shops, and I'm looking around and saying, you know what? Fuck your IPs. Fuck this. Fuck that. It's all overpriced. Fuck you.
And you don't have to buy it. You don't. I don't want to. I don't.
But it's also the same shit in every store.
Well,
but I don't want to feel like this just before I even walk into the gate, and I do,
James,
and it sucks. That's it. It's not going to keep me from going someday again, but it sucks that my experience has been so tainted. Honestly,
have you ever eaten at the Blue Bayou?
Oh my God!
In the Pirates of the Caribbean,
one of the worst restaurants.
Really?
In the world.
I thought it was
the meal I had for the money I paid. It was wretched. Wow. And it might be different now, but what I had, look, if you order the corned beef sandwich, I'm sure it's fine. But or the patty melt, from the bayou. Ooh.
So this is the restaurant that's inside Pirates of the Caribbean where you see the boats go by you. So it's a big novelty to sit there.
The patty melt that the pirates used to eat.
Right, remember? Oh,
wait a minute. Okay,
I like the melted cheese.
Hey, Matt, I know you've eaten there because you had a quarter thrown at you.
I experience violence everywhere I go. Violence follows.
You get violence. Sean, James, have you guys eaten there?
I've never eaten there. No, I don't think so.
Have you ever desire to eat there,
horrible.
Sean?
I mean,
Pirates.
I don't go. I mean, Disneyland. I don't go to like for the cuisine. Like, I can't wait to eat at the restaurant. Like, no, go to fucking rides
for dessert. If you want a good ice cream sundae with waffle cone and all that shit, then that's what you eat there.
That's
but when it comes to their restaurants, the Blue Bayou was so overpriced and so not good that compared to like the other restaurant where the people have the sourdough baguette filled with clam chowder. That was great. And that was half the price of whatever and you got to get on a waiting list to go to this place.
You get the app to get the sandwich.
So the sit-down restaurants now, you have to plan like months in advance to get in.
I know. It really is ridiculous. It's
I mean, for listeners, Matt had this experience, back in the 70s. Okay, look, I'm sure that they've improved because when we went with our kid back in, that was like 2010, 2011, it was lovely. It was it was delicious. It was wonderful. And we had the best time. But Matt is right. It is expensive because it's not so much that you're paying for a restaurant. It's an environment. It is
Sure,
an
of course.
experience. And that's essentially what you're doing. You're paying for that experience. And I guess, Matt, the truth is, Carrie and I, we always wanted to do it. We always wanted to experience that. We had peeked in, and this was our chance to go. With
No,
our
I get
kid, and
right.
Now, have we gone there since? One other time we did. But yes, it is expensive. A lot of Disneyland is expensive, and it's tough because, like James said, back in the day, Ken Daly used to say this too, when there were groups that would go together to, adult Disney guys, they go and they be the adventurer people, and you could go and you could experience it. You go on a few rides, but you'd sit there and you go to a restaurant, and it was a fun place to be. Now it seems like where you're bombarded with all of the IP, where I guess the goal is to really suck as much out of you as they can. It's tough.
I know. It's because I still love Disneyland, and I do love what they're doing. I have yet to experience it, but I have heard so many great things about that Star Wars experience. And
it's awesome.
And how immersive it is. And so, and I understand that costs money, and then you got to pass some of that on, but still, it's just, there's got to be a way that everybody, especially considering what we're going through now with the economy, that somebody out there can just give us a break for a second,
Well, here's my attitude about that. It kind of irks me. So Disney buys Star Wars, $4 billion. And you think, okay, how do we maximize this? We're going to have to charge more money. The idea for Disney, Walt Disney said, the park will never be finished. It will constantly be in a state of, we're going to add a new ride. We're going to take out something that hasn't worked, or something that people don't care about, and we're going to add something new. To me, the whole Star Wars world is like that. To me, that is like a guarantee to get people to go to Disneyland at least for another 20 years. And so that now, as long as they continue to create stuff with that IP, whether it be the Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian and all that stuff, as long as it's good, it's successful, you've got your audience. So would it hurt, Matt? Would it hurt to just bring that price down just a pinch? And look, I'm fine with,
again, I completely agree.
You have, okay, it's not really California Adventure anymore, but it's like, so the second park, if I have to pay the same amount to go from Disneyland into the other park, okay, fine. That's totally fine. But bring that price down. Make it a little more reasonable. Yeah, I don't think I'm being outrageous here.
I don't think you are at all. And this brings me to one of my bones to pick about Star Wars. And that is, okay, Slave Leia.
Slave Leia.
Slave Leia. Now, I know that is a controversial term now, or name.
Yes.
So, is Slave Leia canceled, or is it just the name?
No, it's canceled.
It's canceled. Okay. Now, look.
Is it?
Yep.
What do you mean, though? It's in the movie. The movie stays the same.
Guys, in whose world is it? In Disney, officially, it's not Slave Leia. It is Adventure Leia or whatever.
But see, look, I am perfectly fine with them changing her name. You don't like Slave Leia, fine. Captive Leia, Jabba Killer Leia, or Emancipated Scantily Clad Leia. I'm fine. That is fine. But don't cancel that version of Leia, because although Jabba may have been a despicable, murderous tyrant, he did know how to dress a lady, right?
Well, except for the shoes. I wasn't a fan of the shoes.
You didn't like the shoes, really?
No, because they're like boots. Why is she wearing these funky boots? She should be wearing
her
like
heels.
These
well, I would think white shoes at all.
Hey, man, dude, I worked at Playboy, okay? You wouldn't put a Playmate in those boots.
Stripper heels.
Yes, heels with like high laces going up to the knee, maybe.
But he mostly got it right, is what I'm saying.
I'll give him credit.
He mostly got it right.
Okay, listen, Comic-Con maybe 5 years ago, Larry, you were there with me. The Hasbro section, they had a huge diorama of Jabba's palace.
Yes.
Every character represented, even Jawa's waiting outside.
Yes.
Where's Leia? Where's Slave Leia? Nowhere to be seen. You go to the Shag booth. Shag, friend of the show, wonderful artist. We love. There's a great painting. There's a print of
Return of the Jedi.
Palace. Return of the Jedi.
The boat. The
skiff.
Barge.
The skiff.
Yes. Very conspicuously lacking Slave Leia.
Nowhere.
Shag happened to be staying at our hotel. When we were checking out, I asked him in the lobby, what's the deal? Why is there no Slave Leia? He said, Disney would not allow it. So you literally put one and one together at that Comic-Con, Slave Leia is canceled.
It's sad, too, because in that beautiful print that he did, you see Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, you see Luke Skywalker. Hey, there's Jabba. And then where is the female character? Where is she? She's
but
not
when you
there.
say she's canceled, but all that means to me though is the movie exists, and unless things go really crazy, they're going to change
Who
the
knows
movie.
for how much longer?
So another reason to have physical media, because who knows if the censored version of Return of the Jedi is the only version we're going to get. But also
they're going to put mom pants on her.
No.
But also, listen. Also, that also means, doesn't it, that all the Slave Leia official action figures are going to skyrocket in price and become rare and sought after, right?
That is exactly what it means. And think about it. For the Star Wars that you guys saw we all saw it in 77, where Han Solo shoots Greedo. He shoots him first. That was changed. You guys think that, well, I'm sure they'll keep Slave Leia, guys, with our technology now, they can put her in something a little less revealing. And I don't think that's crazy. I think that might be coming. Don't mark my words, my friend. You just wait.
That's like Spielberg adding taking the guns out of E.T.
It's so dumb.
Right. And it's that whole idea of this whole manipulating of history and changing and whitewashing things has gotten so to the point of absurdity. And again, it's like burning the books in Fahrenheit 451. It's like, let us have what we have and don't change and manipulate and try to appease everybody. And it's just it's crazy.
And decent people can juggle two things. They can juggle the idea that, yes, Leia is a slave of Jabba, and this is not what she would want to wear.
Well, he's the villain. He's the bad guy.
He's the villain. Right.
Slaves.
But at the same time, we can look at her and go, but that's a really hot outfit. She looks fabulous.
Yeah,
we can balance both of those ideas.
Yeah, like you said,
and not be monsters. You know what I mean?
Because you're a reasonable, intelligent person, right?
Exactly.
Which there seems to be less and less and less of today in society. I mean,
we can't cancel emancipated Leia. Okay, come on, please. In fact, you know what? This is just a little side thing here, but so I've been kind of getting back into Star Wars toys. Because I bought this little Tantive 4 hallway diorama set,
Oh, you got that.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really nice.
It looks really nice.
It looks great. It's affordable. And I got some figures from China, some great Stormtrooper, better than the ones that they normally release. Sure. So I got a bunch of that stuff. And then, so I'm with Jason Lindsay, and I wanted to get a Millennium Falcon because I never had a Millennium Falcon. And I thought, I've got the X-Wing, I've got some TIE fighters, let's get the Millennium Falcon. And so there's one in Blast from the Past that I was thinking of getting with some credit money. Right. And he goes, well, you know what? I've been lugging around my Millennium Falcon from the one that I had as a kid.
Oh, an original.
And I would like someone to have it who would display it and take care of it. So he gave it to me.
No.
Gave it to me. And now, Jason Lindsay, you, Larry, and Jason have many things in common when it comes to the care that you take of your items. So he had, this thing was in perfect shape. He had everything. He even had, you'll know this, the little ball.
Unbelievable.
He even had the
Wait. Clarify. What is the little ball?
So the little ball is the target practice
probe that Luke is trying to.
Luke is fighting with.
Yeah.
So in the playset, it's on a string on a little arm.
Arm.
And that's notoriously, that is the thing that's
always
missing.
Lost.
Always missing.
That's the first thing that
that's
goes.
And
cool.
he has it. All the original decals, he's missing one. And like considering, and everything's in nice shape. And so that made me want to get out. Like a long time ago, I bought a bunch of Star Wars figures at a convention because I didn't have any. And someone was offering like, here's a box of them for $40. And most of them were the first 12.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
and it came with the display, the little moving display.
Are you kidding? Do you know how much that goes for? Do you know how much that sells
I know.
for?
Yeah. Now it's not in perfect shape, but it's in in very nice shape. And so I got that out, and there's a couple figures that I was missing, so I got some of that, and so I've been getting into this. But then the last thing was, as much as I'm not the greatest Jedi fan, I love Jabba.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had an original Jabba, and then I found like the little hookah thing, and then I finally got the throne, and I had the other characters, and then I was like, I know I bought it somewhere, and I dug deep in my stuff because we're packing away stuff for all the repairs, and I dug into this box, and I found my emancipated Leia.
Oh,
nice.
Now I can look upon her, and they can't take that away from me. They can't come and CGI that out of my home.
That's right. That's
cold,
right.
Dead hands.
That's right.
Slave Leia out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah.
You can't steal my thoughts. Yeah, you might not like Slave Leia, but I call it stuff of my dreams, Leia.
Guys, we've been to Comic-Con many times.
Sure.
Don't you guys? We always see women dressed as Slave Leia.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
There's just as much. It's not just, guys think, Slave Leia, she's so sexy. There are women out there that really want to dress up as Slave Leia.
Remember that one year? There was one year where there was like 50 of them or something.
Yeah. There was a display of a giant Jabba, and they had all of these women just as Slave Leia come and pose around it.
Yeah.
And it was really,
it was a magical
cool.
time.
I think it's one of those things where Disney will try to cancel. They're not going to go out of their way to acknowledge it because they can't stop it. It's the fans,
it's crazy.
Yeah, they'll push it to the side, sort of.
It's like James, you're saying about how there's not too many movies nowadays that inspire you or that are like genre films, especially. Maybe there's less films to really love and enjoy. So don't mess with the ones that we have.
I know, right?
It's like Jesus Christ. Like, let us enjoy. Leave our past alone. Like, just
sure.
Of course, history is full with like blemishes and mistakes and things that weren't correct at the time. But like, my God, it's called history. It's like they're products of their time and
cultural history.
People weren't so sticks up their asses about everything back then. It's
we're gonna just change every movie that offended us.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's really nuts.
How about you, Larry? Do you have any bones to pick?
Well,
so far you've been kind of defending against everything we've been complaining
because I
about.
want to point out to people that we're not all agreeing on everything, okay? But there are things that we do.
There are places of agreement, yes.
Look, I as we were going through the whole conversation, we went over a couple of things that fall into those categories.
Okay.
One, which was conventions, was my thing. When you go to a convention, what's tough is nowadays they have their special photo with the celebrity. Now, look, on one hand, that's a neat thing, but this is what I've noticed, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, I've talked about this before. I just went to an autograph show, and I had this experience 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. When I would go to an autograph show, I could bring $200, and I'd be able to get autographs from, let's say, 5, 6, sometimes 8 celebrities.
Right. Sure.
Okay?
Yep.
And get this, I would not only be able to meet them and get a signed photo, but if I wanted to get my photo with them right at their table, I could do that. Now, and I get it, I understand people don't want to be exploited. These celebrities who they're older, it's like, they want to take a photo and that's, you're stealing from them. I get it. I understand. What they did at first was these conventions used to say, okay, celebrities, do not allow photos to be taken. You have to go to at a specific time for like 10 to 20 minutes in the special booth where people will pay like $90 or $100 to get a special photo. And granted, you go through the experience. The photos are really nice. They are beautifully taken. They're beautiful.
Lighting's nice.
Color.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. They are lovely. It's better than with your little Instamatic camera. But now I gotta pay $60 for their autograph, and now I gotta pay like $80 to get this photograph. Now, okay, you're going to get the picture with Mark Hamill or William Shatner. They'll always do well. But what about the secondary characters, like the guy who played Apollo, Michael Forrest from classic Star Trek, or Barbara Luna from Mirror Mirror, who played Marlena Monroe? Those people who are not like the big draws, I want to meet them, get their autograph, but now I don't have enough money because I spent all this money on like 2 celebrities. And what I've noticed at the last show, what celebrities were doing was this. They would say, okay, my autograph is $50, $60. Oh, and you want a selfie with me? That's another $20. Okay, so now my $60 is now $80. I give them $80, and I'm not going through the convention process of the professional photo. 9 times out of 10, you're looking at photos on your phone. You don't have like the big 8x10.
I know.
But my big thing is, again, now when I go to a show, I may see only 2 celebrities instead of going to see like 6 or 7. And that kind of bugs me a little
I'm
bit.
with you.
Met Larry.
I'm with you.
Gina and I rarely get autographs from anybody anymore. I mean, it's just, you're literally, you would be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a photograph and or a signature. It's not worth it. I mean, you're already paying to go to the convention itself. It's not the same. I remember going to conventions and, $25, $30 with a photo.
Yeah.
Right.
Those days are gone. Like, again, too expensive.
This is what I wanted to suggest. And I've said this on the other show. When you have these celebrities, let's say like the Joan Collins, who was at the last show, I would take a lesson from Debbie Reynolds. When I saw Debbie Reynolds, she was the biggest celebrity at the autograph show, but she was not the most expensive. And it was by design. What she did is her autograph from a picture was, let's say, $40. Not a lot. Oh, and you could get a second photo signed for an additional $20. Okay. Huh? In other words, what she did is she tried to be not the most expensive. And what happened? Her line was huge.
Yeah.
More people went.
Sure.
That's what you want. You want more. Oh, Bruce Stern is, $80, but Debbie Reynolds is only $40. Well, what are you going to do? Well,
I was at that show, and Bruce Stern was not $80.
Well, I'm just saying.
I got his autograph too.
I'm just saying. That Debbie Reynolds was a big star. She wasn't charging the most.
Oh, yeah,
and because of it, she was constantly, there was a line, she was constantly doing stuff, and she was a total professional. She had it down where she had the special little seat where you're kind of standing a little bit, and she'd do the little pose, and she was lovely. So what I would say to some of these celebrities is maybe you don't want to go like so high. Maybe you want to bring it down just so you want to be busy. Because that's how you make more money. At least that's my suggestion.
It's basic economics.
Yes, it's basic economics.
This is the luckiest I ever got at a convention. And this is before all of that stuff really exploded. But it was a year when they were doing a big retrospective of Return of the Living Dead. And everybody was there. And I had this original mini poster of the one sheet. And I was taking it around. I was having everybody sign it. And I would just get them coming out of a panel. And I go, and they'd sign it. And so almost everybody signed it for free. James Cameron.
Wow. That's great.
So,
wow.
Except. So I go to the restaurant, which was, what is it? What's the place there at the Marriott?
The
Daily Grill. Daily Grill.
Yeah, Daily Grill.
So I go to the Daily Grill. And who do I see? I see Jewel Shepard.
I knew it.
And Beverly Randolph. So I go over to them and I have my poster and I say, hey, would you mind signing this? And Jewel goes, well, you're going to have to pay us. And I said, I absolutely will pay you. How much do you want? And she said, like $20. And then she said, and Beverly Randolph, who's Tina, she wants it too. And I said, that's perfectly fine, because my view was, I made out like a bandit.
Absolutely.
I'm delighted to pay you $20. And $20 was more than fair.
Yes.
Sure.
So I went to the ATM and I got my $40 and they signed my thing. And then we sat and talked and it was all very nice.
Was that before? Was that before or after she was on our show?
That was before. But see, what I had done is I had greased the wheels. So to say.
Right.
And by the time she came to my home and we all did that show, she was a delight.
Yeah, it's true. It's just disheartening that you can't even, you see all these celebrities, and sure, of course, when some huge celebrity is going to be a lot of money, but yeah, a lot of the middle tier people or just the character actors, they're charging a ton too now.
I can't justify it. If they had brought the price down a little bit, more people. And there are times when I'm walking around and their table, it's empty. They're sitting there with no one there. I go, well, maybe you should just bring that price down.
Yeah, right.
Because, I'd love to get an autograph from you, but I just can't when it's so high.
That's a great one, Larry. That's a great bone.
Yeah, for sure.
I completely am on your side.
But look, maybe this is a little weird. This doesn't really fall into any category.
Go ahead.
But I do have this other bone to pick, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I have a bone to pick about the color of outer space. When we've seen films, look, hear me out. It's not all black with just white stars. So those white Christmas trees, like Battlestar Galactica. Real space is full of color. I mean, even in the movie Aliens, when you look at outer space, there's like blues. Remember blues and stuff in there? Remember the black hole? The black hole like purples? And stuff?
I always liked that image.
But it's like, I would argue, if you look at photographs from the Webb telescope, you see space is filled with blues and yellows and oranges and reds. That's real space.
But they are coloring those photos, though.
Not really. There's like, here's we're using the red spectrum or whatever. The color is really there, Matt. And I would argue, Sean, back me up here. I would argue that maybe the best depiction of outer space is from 1978 Star Crash. Because there's so many colors.
The most realistic, obviously.
That are used.
But it's obviously films can take artistic license, but it depends on the kind of movie
that's fine.
Is.
And that's
more of a sure.
See, I've always hated just white Christmas lights on a Christmas tree.
But for Star Crash, it's fine.
Christmas should be colored lights, colors.
Yeah, but if you're making
full of colors,
if you're making like Interstellar, though, they're not going to go Christmas lights and
or Alien even.
I mean, it just depends on the kind of movie. If you want,
hey, that's my bone. I like color in space.
Hey, Star Trek.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, Star Trek 2, there's another great cat and mouse play with Kirk and Khan. I love that. What is it? The
nebula.
That's awesome. Still one of my favorite sequences in that movie.
Me too.
But it just depends. Yeah.
And when first of all, when you saw the Hubble, but when you saw the photos from the Webb telescope, they're just so amazing. They're so beautiful. And if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. Check it out. Sure. The colors of space.
All right, I got a bone to pick. This one's Insidious. This one pissed me off so much.
The movie Insidious?
No. But this I just found out about recently, and my wife backed me up on this because she noticed this too. Okay, and this goes to streaming. Okay, another reason to fucking hate streaming. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, we have AMC Plus. Do you guys have AMC Plus?
I don't.
No.
Okay, they have, and you can get Shudder through that and everything. And I check out things every once in a while. I'll just see what's on. And one evening, I think it was like really late. I was in bed, just want to turn something on. I put on the Mario Bava film, Lisa and the Devil, with the Elke Summer and Telly Savalas as the devil. Great, weird, surreal, later Mario Bava film. And it's really a good movie, really very bizarre. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, the scene ends, and there's a fade out. to the next scene. I'm like, wow, that's weird. I remember Bava doing so many fade outs, awkward kind of fade outs between scenes. Like, what's going on here? And of course, stupid me, I should just put in my fucking Blu-ray instead of relying on streaming, because guess what? Those fade outs were added by AMC because AMC was using older TV broadcast masters that had commercials instead of the theatrical cuts. So yes, the movie is not censored. I mean, there's nudity and gore and all that, but there are fucking fade outs for commercial breaks that don't happen. So talk about altering the pacing and flow and the mood of the movie. Sometimes the sound cuts out. This is not how Mario Bava intended his work to be presented. So then Gina's watching. She just put it on because she's seen it a million times and loves it. She was doing something. She put on Galaxy Quest in the background from 1999 on AMC Plus. Same thing.
Wow.
Fade outs between scenes. What the fuck? So this is, to me, is in some ways it's even worse than having it, but it's altering a film and doing it so subtly that you think like what, and it really, like watching the Bava film, like that's just weird. It's like just not right. I've heard online that like Peacock does this too. Galaxy Quest was 1999, so I think because AMC used to have commercials in the old AMC channel,
right?
They ran movies, I guess, up to the late 90s, early 2000s. So I guess Galaxy Quest maybe was on their channel back then when they had commercials. So they just used that print. No, the commercials went in there, but the fade outs, the spaces for the commercials were like a TV show. It's just, I could not believe it. It's just, apparently that's Shudder through AMC. So I guess all of Shudder's movie, I guess if it's a later movie that it wasn't shown as a print when AMC was using commercials, you're not going to have that. But an old movie like a Bava film and even like Galaxy Quest have these built-in artificial fade-ins and fade-outs.
No.
What the fuck?
No.
Wow.
That's so much.
If you write in and you can adequately shame them for this, that might change, because that can happen. You know, if you show them that you're onto them.
Well, I've gone on Reddit and people have been complaining about it for years, so I don't think it's going to change. But
okay, well, I think we can jump around on this same topic, because the thing that always got me watching anything on a streaming channel or, you know, like HBO Max or what have you, is that how about when you're watching a movie and you get to the credits and all of a sudden it has decided that you don't want to see the credits?
Yes,
I hate
that.
Now, I feel like the default should be you're going to see the credits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it isn't, because it shrinks up. You've just finished watching a movie that maybe a great movie that you loved. You're in that mood,
And the music
and then
is playing.
and like what the fuck? You
The
just
end title.
talk about it is the worst. I mean, it's the worst. Again, get something out that you like in Blu-ray and just watch it exactly how it was meant to be watched, all the way to the end credits. Everything. It's like any kind of, or banner. Remember, like the banners and little network bugs images.
The bugs,
Did you like this?
It is the worst.
See more like
Oh.
this?
Oh God, I hate it. I hate it.
What about even back in the day? Now, I love this company, but like, remember Something Weird?
Oh yeah.
Something Weird I love, but they would put that SW
watermark. It's a watermark.
watermark in the corner of the screen, and it's like, no, come on.
I did it.
There's got to be another way to protect yourself with this. But hey, I feel like this is somewhat adjacent to what you're talking about, but in a little bit of a different way, because we're talking streaming on YouTube, and we're talking about all these documentaries or top 10 lists where they're fan made, and more now I'll start watching something and I'll go, oh my God, this is AI. And it's because it's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Something will give it away. And usually it's something like they'll get the name wrong, the pronunciation of a name.
Yes.
They'll get it, like they'll say it right in the beginning, but then later on they'll say, you know, it's Ray Harryhausen. And then like 2 minutes later, it's like, and then Ray Hungry Hopper did it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yes.
and then they'll, or like something even more egregious, like they'll get dates wrong or facts.
Yeah.
And you know that it's just these people who are feeding it into a machine, and it just spits out this little documentary. So now, unless I see a sweaty nerd and I see that sweaty nerd's face with the pit stains,
Right.
like I'm out, because they'll do some sort of clickbait to get you to watch. And then I'll start watching it. And it's like, nope, that didn't happen. No,
Yeah.
no,
I know, 'cause
you're not human.
Matt, you're so right. Do you remember when we did our meal in a movie episode?
Yes.
One of our great listeners, Ed Martinez, sent me this great thing about, oh, Larry, you did a thing about Robinson Crusoe on Mars. There's this great little documentary I found. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know about this. He sent it and I watch it and I start watching it. And like you said, Matt, I'm listening to it and it sounds like a real person, but some of the names they pronounced were wrong.
That's usually the first giveaway.
Okay, but then they got facts from the movie wrong when they said the astronaut picked up the rocks and discovered there was water. And I'm like, no, it's air. It's air that's in it. The water isn't and I'm like, oh my God. And as you listen
that's
to it,
basic.
Well, and the thing that gets me, really irritates me, it's like, so if someone says, oh, I want to see what this Robinson Crusoe on Mars is all about, and they go to this documentary and they see it and they're not being told the truth. It's so wrong. And it was all created by AI. And I was so angry because it's like, if anyone watched it, you would realize there's no water in the rocks.
Sometimes a giveaway is numbers. Like if instead of saying 2005, they'll say 2005. It's like, oh, come on.
Wow. Oh, real quick, the thing about this AMC Plus is it's AMC Plus. These streaming channels have tiers, so you pay more for the ones without commercials. So you're paying more. You're paying more to get fake fade outs in your fucking movies.
Wow.
It's pisses me off so much.
Is it like plus or?
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, and that in and of itself is maddening. And was it Black Mirror that did the bit about?
Oh, yes.
Someone who was going to die is brought back to life, but to be able to stay alive, they have to uncontrollably recite these ads.
Yeah, they're forced to say ads for things.
Yeah,
that was the best episode of that season.
That was the best one, yes. But I mean, that's what you have now, which is all these different channels that, like, well, if you really want to get rid of those commercials, but I'm already paying this much. And once again, it goes back to that thing that we were all complaining about, which is they know that they can gouge you. They know that you'll pay it.
But worst of all, especially if you're maybe a casual viewer, you're not even going to know that fade out was not originally there. Like
That's
you're not,
true.
you're not even aware that you're not seeing the film in its original version. You know,
to be fair though, most casual viewers won't care either.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's
I'm not one of those people who like when something comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, these people are, how dare they? The aspect ratio was off by like, okay, as long as it's mostly there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not cropping something, but there is a line, and that's a line where you're actually messing with the pace of a movie and the editing of a movie.
Wasn't there like way back when the movie Reds came out? I think Warren Beatty had this fight with, I think, a network that when they ran Reds on TV, they sped up the credits at the end or something. There was something where I think he won this kind of legal battle with they were somehow altering Reds when it was being shown on TV.
Yeah, they sped up the credits. It would go really fast.
And he was like, fuck that.
Saying,
no.
Well, you're showing it. We're still showing the film. We're still showing the credits.
Yeah, that was
they went really fast. Yeah.
And that was way early on, but he fought because it was his film and he wanted it shown the way it was supposed to be shown. So
good for him.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
This really, really pisses me off. Okay.
Oh, buckle up, people.
We've all ordered stuff online.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
You guys know I'm very fond of books.
Yes.
Right.
I will go into Barnes & Noble. I could spend $300 on a single visit to Barnes & Noble, but I don't do that. Instead, I know I shouldn't do this because Barnes & Noble may go out of business, but I take pictures of the interesting books and then I find them cheaper online.
Oh my! Are you kidding me?
That's fair. That's just being a
basic
wise
economics. It's basic economics.
It absolutely is. He's being a good shopper.
Well, Amazon, if you can find something on Amazon that's a good price, you know, they ship it well. It's usually in a box or good packaging. But if you buy something on eBay and it's a book, especially a coffee table book, and this has happened to me, no exaggeration, like half a dozen times. It will come in a flimsy plastic wrapper. They don't even bother to put it in bubble wrap.
Right.
and it will be dented, severely dented.
Yeah.
The spine will be ruined. And it's just like, what the hell? So
Yeah.
I will complain, but then what happens when you complain? Well, you got to take pictures. You got to send the pictures. Nobody wants to have to go through this when they order something online. You know,
I'd rather not. No.
Yeah.
Well, James, the answer to that, though, you really got to look carefully at all the reviews of the seller.
True.
I mean,
but they do have good reviews. The problem is that maybe people don't care as much as I do, because I really want books pristine. I don't know, for some reason, if they've got blemishes,
Sure.
I'm out. But the kicker is, in the discourse, when I complain to them, I'm like, you ship a lot of books. I know you got to cut costs, but it's pointless to ship books this way, especially heavy ones, because they're going to get ruined. And you're wasting time. And every single fucking time, they do not acknowledge that that's a problem.
No,
and this
it's an
literally
ego thing.
just happened. And it's just like, guys, and I'm not trying to shame you, but this is just common sense. This is physics, for God's sake.
Yep.
And they will not admit it. It drives me crazy. But here's the capper. And it happened with a vendor called Toynk, Toynk.
Write that down, listeners.
We see them
Wow.
see them at Comic-Con every year, and they sell geeky tikis. They sell more geeky tikis than any other vendor at Comic-Con.
Sure.
And I've bought stuff from their booth. I bought they had a great Godzilla blanket last year that I bought. And I had bought a jigsaw puzzle from them several years ago that was all the James Bond posters in one puzzle. And it was an awesome poster. It was a mosaic. And it came wrapped in a flimsy plastic container. And of course, zero protection, severely dented at the corner, wasted. So I complained. Well, I didn't realize that they don't have a full money back guarantee policy, which is on me. But what they offered was a 20% discount. They would refund me 20%. And I'm just like, I don't want 20%. This item is ruined for me.
No. That's
yeah.
That's
and they
ridiculous.
would not own up to the bad shipping. They would not own it. And the punchline to all of this is that about a year later, but I bitched. About a year later, I see something on eBay and it's the best price. It happens to be from Toynk. So I go to buy it now and they blocked me.
No way.
Fuckers.
Wow.
You have no shame. And like I said, I go to the Toynk booth at Comic-Con and I haven't raised a stink, but I think this has been bothering me enough now for years that I think I'm going to go to them next time and ask to speak to someone in charge and just, vent about this, because that's just pathetic.
Sure.
That's horrible customer
I'm not going to
service.
buy anything from them ever again.
Thank you.
That's pretty harsh.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's not cool at all.
It's funny. You're talking about a company that doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys remember back in the day when Kenner was making Star Wars figures? They would put in a little piece of paper, a little slip in a lot of the vehicles that says, "We really do care." And they would say if something was wrong with the toy, if it was missing a piece, if it was missing a sticker, you could write to them and they'll send you a new piece or a new sticker, or they'll tell you to take it back to they really did care. And it made me feel that Kenner is a good toy company. I want to buy things from Kenner. And it made me feel really, I felt like I had this kinship with Kenner. Then Star Wars figures or Star Wars the line gets purchased by Hasbro. And going back to Kenner, how Kenner, to let you know what figures are out there, on the back of a card, it would show you all the figures, or there'd be a little catalog in the vehicle, in the box with the vehicle, that would show you, oh, you can get this one, you can get this one. Hasbro now has the license. And when they've come out with their great figures like the Black Line figures or something like that, you think, oh, let me look on the back. No, they don't care. They don't want to put that stuff on there. And it's like, well, how do I find out what other figures are in the line? And you know how you tell? Because there is a group of individuals. I wrote this down here. There's a community-driven thing. So you got fanatics who are out there that write down every figure. It's like, I don't want to have to rely on them. where's my relationship with Hasbro? Hasbro, you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to help tell me, look, we have 24 of these figures. Here they are. This is what they are. You can mark them down on your list. But it's like, there's no catalog. There's no letting you know. Maybe things are like, oh, well, maybe you just have to go online. It's like, I don't want to have to do that.
No.
But it takes out the fun of it.
James, what you just said about the company that didn't give a shit. To me, it's like if this were my company, I go, shit, I am so sorry, James, because I want to keep you as a happy customer.
Of course.
And then, first of all, I would never send it to you, not wrapped in like bubble wrap or in a stiffer box, even though it's economics. Look, I'll charge $2 more for shipping. I mean, come on, people.
Right.
Recently, this happened to me. The same exact thing. I bought the Godzilla, the First 70 Years book. I finally decided, okay, found it for a great price on eBay. I'm going to get it. So I get it. It finally comes. It takes a little bit, but it finally arrives. And I open it up. There's like a sheet of bubble wrap in there, but the book is allowed to move all over inside the box.
Right.
And it's dented. And there's a corner of it that is crushed. To the point where you open up the book and every page going down is bent. And it's like James, when I buy a book, I want it to be perfect. Anything. If anything's fucked up when I get it from Amazon, I'll send it back and they're the worst, by the way, when it comes to packing material, but that's a whole nother thing. I get the book and then I contact the seller, and the guy's great. And he's very apologetic, but he's kind of like, I feel like he really needs the money. Like, well, would you accept this? Would you? I said, no, I really just want a perfect book. And he ended up finally saying, look, I don't want the book back. So just keep the book and I'll send you another, which is great, right?
That happens a lot. Yeah.
Which is great, which is fine. So I wait and the second box comes and I open it up. The book is in perfect shape. However, exact same packing. One little sheet of bubble wrap. And after this, like I've cost him a hassle. And the idea of like, you know what I should really do? I'll just fill it with a whole bunch of paper, grab some newspapers.
Anything.
Yeah.
So you're lucky that you got the second one in good shape.
Yeah, just luck out of pure luck. I was able to get a second one that was in perfect shape. But like, what's wrong with you?
Can I ask a stupid question? Maybe this is like getting into your personal life here, but can
my
you tell
personal
me,
life?
Matt, no, Matt, how much was this book, by the way? Is it $50?
It was
$75?
under $50.
Okay. Let's say $40.
Something. I think it was around there. Yeah.
Okay. Look, I unloaded a lot of Playboy magazines recently that I had when I, worked at Playboy and stuff. I had amassed a big collection. When I would send these out in batches of like 10 or 12, the magazines were put together. I had cardboard on the top and on the bottom. I wrapped it with bubble wrap and taped it so it was secure. Then that went into a box. I had boxes that were and because I was concerned of the magazines going out to people, at least they would see I made a conscious effort to try to protect those magazines. I never got anyone that complained. But if you make the effort, sure, you can't prevent a post office worker from stepping on it. Sure, I get that. But to do due diligence to protect the item that you're sending, because you develop a relationship. The people who bought from me, they kept buying things from me. They had a relationship. And isn't that what it's all about?
Well,
I mean,
you have, I'm sure, like me, I'll bet you have 100% feedback, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's one guy, I sent something to this guy and he said it wasn't exactly what I'd explained. And I said, hey, no problem. I'll take X amount of dollars off. And then he said, oh, that's great. And was really happy about it.
I've had people complain about something and I do the exact same thing. I say, look, but you can ship it back and I'll give you your money back or I'll cut
the book that you bought, let's say $40. Okay. We're not talking about an item that you sold for $5. Okay, it's
Right.
So it's like if you sell your item for 10 and then with shipping it's like 14 or 15.95 or whatever, you should get the box, get a bigger roll of bubble wrap so you can protect it, just so you can develop a
Newspaper.
decent relationship with the people that you're selling to.
Well, relationships, I think it's the difference between a single individual eBay seller who's putting a little bit more personal effort into it and a company, especially a bigger company like Toink, that's probably relying on warehouses to ship their stuff. And they don't even necessarily communicate with those warehouses. So, when you complain about the shipping, they don't even know who to talk to, so they don't even listen. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Odd. Very odd.
Well, this has been great. I think we brought up a lot of really, really neat bones to pick here,
Well, I agree.
Really good ones.
But look, I know we can make this go on forever, but what do you say let's do a lightning round. Just do a few little bones to pick, okay? Let's do them, okay? Here we go. Sean, come on. Why don't you give us one?
Okay, here's a bone to pick for me. This is just from some recent viewings. I have a bone to pick about all the bad, quote, sitting in front of a computer screen sci-fi movies that have been coming out lately. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen or heard about the recent War of the Worlds film with Ice Cube.
No.
What?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's notorious.
It's notorious. It's somebody decided, let's remake War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
With Ice Cube sitting in front of a computer screen the entire time. So he's like some kind of security guy or something that watches for like terrorist attacks or something.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like his daughter and her boyfriend are out running around, and he's noticing meteors coming down all over the cities everywhere, and he's viewing this from his computer screen. So we're seeing on the computer, like he's just him. It's like we're watching him watching the computer screen, and the entire alien invasion of the world is from Ice Cube's point of view.
Oh,
is it called Straight Out of Mars?
Look, we watched it, and Gina couldn't even get through it. Like, it's so bad, but it's so also just horribly melodramatic and terrible.
Wow.
And it's hilarious.
I heard it was an Amazon Prime production, original production. So there's all this Amazon Prime tie-in about
the hero of the story is like an Amazon driver who like saves the day. It's insane. It's insane. You see, but you got to see just because you can't believe it. But the reason I brought, because we also just recently saw, you also probably heard about this, is a movie just came out. It just came to streaming for free. We had to watch it because I was so curious. Have you know about this movie called Mercy?
No.
Mercy is a movie with Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson, and Chris Pratt is in the future, and it's everything's run by AI, and Chris Pratt is like some kind of cop security guy, and he's stuck in a chair because he's on trial for the murder of his wife. He's been framed, obviously.
Okay.
And so the judge in his case, like everybody's tried by the system, and the judge is AI. So Rebecca Ferguson is an AI judge, and she's okay. You have 90 minutes, coincidentally, the length of the movie. You have 90 minutes to prove your innocence. And so he has access. He can bring up all these security cameras, and she can. They go back and forth, and he's been framed. And again, it's so melodramatic and stupid and terrible, but it's a perfect double feature with War of the Worlds. It's like, you got to try watching both of these movies when you're drunk and or high. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, like Mercy and War of the Worlds. If this is the future, if this is the future of sci-fi spectacle movies, we're in trouble. Okay, another real quick one. What the hell is the deal with releasing films in the theaters and then like a week later putting it out and streaming?
Yeah.
Cutting off the balls of this movie that could make money and do better. For instance, Guillermo del Toro's excellent Frankenstein.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they decide, we're going to release it in the theaters, and then next week, Netflix is going to have it.
Yeah. I was really pissed. It's a
great movie. It's like, that's bullshit. Talk about Hollywood being in trouble and getting people to go to the theaters, right?
Shooting theater going in the foot. Right there.
Yeah, it's terrible. My other one is like a toy-related thing, which I know I've said many times. I'm going to say it again. We need action figures for so many great movies and TV shows. My top 3. Where the hell is the action figure for Columbo, Logan's Run, and Red Dwarf? Just give me those. There's a lot more I want, but I want those 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are my bones to pick.
I'm with you, Sean. Nice one.
Nice.
James?
Speaking of action figures, and I've probably brought this up before, the way that action figures are packaged. Now, I know that shoplifting is sometimes a crime, but you
What
open
do you
these
mean
things up.
sometimes?
I don't know.
It's a crime.
I open this thing up and it's a piece of plastic. It's not Fort Knox, okay? I need like wire cutters. I'm trying to
Right,
you're right.
Yep.
like I gotta cut the plastic. It's like, come on already.
Yeah, right.
No.
You know,
It's
I don't
not
know.
the figure's not going to try to escape. Okay.
Yeah. So, there's that. And okay, we mentioned Comic-Con, one of my huge pet peeves of San Diego Comic-Con, and it's mainly because of the venue, is that look, even when I didn't have ankle problems, you're walking around for hours, you want to sit down for a minute. And seating is extremely limited.
Where are the fucking chairs?
That's ridiculous. Even in the food court, everybody's eating. You got to like walk around. It's like musical chairs. Like, is anybody sitting here? It's like, come on, plan ahead, guys. Plan ahead. This is a major event.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
And if you sit on the floor, they will go, "Oh no, you can't sit there. Why can't I sit here?" Look, I understand your fire laws, right?
Yeah.
But give me a place to sit.
Yeah.
Well, there are
simple.
restrooms you could
Simple.
sit in.
The restaurant. There you go. That's what we should all get lunch. We should all just bring our slices of pizza in the men's restroom. And we just talk there for an hour.
And then finally, and this is a very personal thing, but I just hate it when stars that I hate are showing up in absolutely everything.
Oh no!
Fucking Zendaya. Everywhere.
Thank you.
It's Zendaya's world
terrible.
all of a sudden, and I'm just living in it.
She's taking over the world.
She's
it's true.
awful.
Scarlett
I love
Johansson,
her.
you guys know I don't like, and she has to be in every frigging franchise movie and everything.
She gets the pick of any script in Hollywood.
And I'm getting a little sick of Margot Robbie, there's others.
Oh my
others,
God! What's
I don't
happened
know.
to you?
Her I do enjoy. What's
too.
Dune guy? Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
That guy needs to
everything.
be stopped. Someone needs to. Someone has to, like, I don't know what deal he signed with Illuminati.
So Matt, you're gonna be in line for Dune Part 3 then coming out later.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm gonna be in line.
I'll watch
Supreme,
it despite him.
Marty Supreme. I'm just like, I'm going to be the last person to watch that. It could have won Best Picture. I don't give a shit. It's like, no, I don't need to see him glorified.
Unbelievable.
Ping pong. No way. Sorry.
And he hates opera
And ballet. Which really kind of irked me. But look,
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of the whole new Dune stuff.
I don't know. I like the Dune movies. I think they're fine.
Except for those two.
Have you heard about that? You guys, wait real quick. Have you heard about the latest conflict though? So Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday were at least going to be released on the same day.
Yes.
So now, and it was going to be called. Remember, it was
Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yeah. So now this is being called Doomsday because
nice.
But apparently, Marvel's thinking of possibly pushing Avengers Doomsday to a different date. So
I would.
How about
I
would.
Well, that's too bad
but Barbie and Oppenheimer made sense because they're completely different audiences.
Completely different.
But this could be it could. So
I was going to say that's too bad because that way I couldn't decide which movie not to go see in a theater.
There you go. Well, you might.
What's happening?
I'm a little nervous about this Doomsday thing because that Fantastic Four movie was so wretched.
Oh, you really hate that movie.
Well,
oh my God.
I am absolutely going to be in the. I am like Larry, for instance. I am absolutely going to be in the theater to see the Avengers movie. Absolutely. I'm hoping for the best. I mean, who knows? But
we hope for the best.
Absolutely,
We hope for the
IMAX, surround. Whatever the fuck it is. Definitely. But so we'll see. I still have hopes.
And we're gonna kidnap James and bring him to the theater. He'll be scratching. No,
you'll go for free, right?
Sure.
See?
Okay.
There we go. And if we got you popcorn,
I'm there.
We treated you to popcorn and a ticket, you would go.
Right,
what about me?
Oh,
I'm unemployed. Come on.
I'll get you a Slurpee.
But James he's the guy who goes, I want to go to movies here.
So if I say it like that, I'll get free popcorn?
Well, we'll see when we get there.
All right, Larry. Larry, what do you got?
No. I've complained enough.
You're spent.
Really?
It's
Really?
like,
Wow.
look. I for the listeners, look, we've picked a lot of bones here. We've complained a lot.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
want you to think that we're a bunch of complainers. I'm sure the listeners out there feel the same way about some of these things. I'm sure they're at home going, "Oh, Larry, you're absolutely right," or "James is completely wrong," or "Sean, I agree with you." But it's like we're
Why am I the one that's wrong?
But Larry, it's because we care, because we are monster kids who love and cinema, and
Sean,
it's our lifeblood.
You're absolutely
We're nerds.
right. It's all because we care. We care.
Good.
And that's something very special.
Yes, it is. Right. Yeah. And you know what? I care too. And you know what I care about?
What's that?
I care about cats. Now, I don't know if you guys have been to our website yet, but you should go because I have a blog there defending cats. And I want you to just go and read it. I'm not going to go over the stuff that I said there, but I have this whole defense of cats, especially when it comes to the comparison with them to dogs. And I feel like this is timely because then James pointed out to me that this woman who won the Best Actress Oscar, Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
Yes.
She did this whole interview on a podcast or something where she like, get in line, another fucking cat hater. And so she can go fuck herself with her cat hate. I'm sick of this shit. And I've been watching, I don't always enjoy Stephen Colbert, his talk show, but I do like it when he does his Colbert questionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions, and it's this list of questions that he asks some higher profile celebrities. And he had James Cameron on there. And James Cameron, one of the questions is cats or dogs. By the way, anyone that they interview always says dogs. Because, of course, they're actors. And so the idea that they're going to have a pet that doesn't fucking kiss their ass 24 hours a day is unacceptable. So that's not surprising. But James Cameron doubles down on it. He said something to the effect of that if you were to dream up the perfect alien parasite that attacks mankind, it would be a cat. And I thought, wow, parasite. So cats are just taking and taking. Let me pose a question to you guys. When was the last time your dog or any dog, without being asked, brought you home dinner?
Oh, never.
Sure, right, sure.
Never.
They'll bring you something. Sure, it's a decapitated rat, and you may consider it disgusting. But a cat doesn't have a wallet or pockets or fingers. It can't go to the food truck or in and out. Mm-hmm. It does what it can do. It's trying to keep you alive.
Yes.
Now, what does a dog bring you? A dog brings you the world's most disgusting, drool-soaked tennis ball. A tennis ball so vile that we had to invent a tool to throw it without actually touching it.
Sure, it's called Chuck It.
See, there you go. You know, don't get me wrong. I love dogs too. I really do. But come on, you are nothing to them but a batting cage pitching machine.
It's funny you should say that because it's like how needy you bring the slimy ball because you want me to throw it again for your pleasure.
Yeah,
for your dog's
and
pleasure,
not once,
mine.
Not twice, 35 times until you pass out. And then they're still looking at you with guilt, like, why aren't you going to throw it again?
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
And finally, with the cat thing, I just want to say, how many times have you walked down the street and stepped in cat shit?
Never.
Never. Because they bury it. Because they're class acts.
Cats are extremely clean. I tell you, our cat, she's a constant groomer. She just always...
they groom all the time. Yeah. And you smell a cat, they smell so good. And dogs, you always like you wait a day or two,
you gotta give them a bath.
Smell like dog again. And so look, I do love dogs. And it's like my problem is not the dog. It's the attitude of human beings toward the cats, and somehow that they're like these evil, vicious creatures. Right. And somehow dogs, there's no downside to them ever at all. But Anyway.
Oh, we should do an episode on dogs and cats.
We should cats and dogs.
We should.
We could do in sci-fi and horror.
Sci-fi,
yeah.
horror. I mean, they're all over the place, Matt.
That's true.
And that's a great idea.
Now, last but not least, I did earlier bring up the fact that we have this website. It's a beautiful website. Our webmaster, Stephanie Morgan, has done such a wonderful job helping us get this thing off the ground. And it's wonderful. I think we'd all agree that we really like the way that it's going. One of the things she had us do is she had a section where you can get to know us, to find out about us. And each of us put a blurb down about who we are. So I'm going to read some of these to you. So it starts with me. It says, Director, Global Monster Expansion. And that was something she came up with. I love it. And I wrote, if this podcast were the Three Stooges, I'd probably be Mo. And I say that not because I'm the leader, but because I'm the asshole. Okay. Turn-ons, my wife, sci-fi and horror, podcasting, comedy, writing, toy collecting, rock and roll, and Night of the Lepus cosplay. Huh? Turn-offs, mean people, disco, and chitty chitty bang bang. Goals. It's a little joke. Goals to bring Monster Party to the world, start a garage kit building commune in Japan, and to find my proper place in this human centipede called life. Hopefully closer to the front. Right? So there you go.
Nice.
So now we move on to Sean. Sean says he's the curator of nightmares, and it says, I've had a fanatical love for monsters, horror, and sci-fi since I was a wee lad. I collect toys, both vintage and new, watch genre films and TV shows obsessively, and have a massive library of monster movies and weird cinema on Blu-ray and DVD. Yay for physical media! I've been told that my encyclopedic knowledge of obscure films is uncanny, which it is, which I take as a huge compliment, which it is. Co-hosting the Monster Party podcast is the inevitable extension of my passion for all things scary, dark, bizarre, and cool. Nice, right?
Nice.
Right, everybody?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go to James. And James is listed as the contrarian. And it says, how can I be branded the show's curmudgeon when there's so much that rocks my world? Classic horror, kaiju movies, film music, cosplay, Stephen King, 007, Hitchcock, Japan, Alan Moore, Hanna-Barbera, Jerry Anderson, Rankin Bass, and Randy Newman. The only thing I can't tolerate is the garbage that currently represents 98% of the entertainment industry. And overrated vintage classics that were crap then and are still crap.
Thank you.
And the term dad jokes. Now, that's funny, right? So let's go to Larry Stroth, who is regular Joe. And he says, I have always tried to keep that same sense of wonder I had as a child. Since the age of 5, when I first watched the 1933 version of King Kong on our family's black and white television set, I was hooked. Since then, I've been in love with monsters, aliens, and creatures from the deep, many of which I thought were just misunderstood. You know, you're not wrong. And I mean poor Reptilicus. Well, okay, but I'll give you that one. I really do treasure my many early monster memories, books, and toys of my youth, and have acquired quite a collection over the past 50 years. And as an adult, I enjoy discussing these and many other monstrous topics with my co-hosts. And I try to spread a little childhood joy and wonder their way. They sure do need it. Now, previous to this blurb, all of us said some funny things. We had a good time. We described ourselves. But leave it to Larry to, at the end, just drive the knife in. A little bit of dig. And my bone to pick is this, he's Mr. Sense of Wonder. Really, Larry, you hate wondering. You need everything explained. To the point where, if given the power, you would ruin Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. So this idea that you need to spread this sense of childhood wonder to us, that we need it. And so, Larry, I would just like to know, how do you have the gall to come after us and besmirch our childlike sense of wonder?
You should be called the besmircher.
It's hard to compete with 3 dynamic individuals who are so charming and intellectual, and I mean, you guys all of you know so much, and your collections are also huge and massive and
quality
and quality, and they don't smell like poo.
No. I mean, I'm in awe. I am in awe of your presence. And
this is going very well, by the way. This is I like the way this is turning around.
See, and the funny thing, listeners,
you don't need to hurt us. Is what I'm saying.
Matt and Sean and James, they're all like, they've all written scripts. They're all great writers, and I'm more like I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy.
You're a regular Joe.
I'm a guy that takes their goofy projects and helps put them together. I can't claim to be as creative and great at writing like these guys. So it's like for Matt or Sean, even James, I mean, to write something like this, they go, like 5 minutes, I'm done. And for me, it takes hours.
But you know what? You had me all the way through until that last part. I agree. Maybe Reptilicus does need a little more love. That's fair.
I thought that was cute.
It is cute, Larry.
He's he's a little marionette, and he's great. I mean, you know
what?
I
perfectly fine. But then to make that hard left turn, we're just these heartless people who need that sense of wonder. Oh, if only Larry were here to bring his little barrel like a Saint Bernard of wonder to us.
I didn't realize that this little thing that I was put on our website, I'm like a little fourth of it, just a little sliver that you were gonna like. Oh man, this is really tans my hide, man. I'm gonna rip him on this episode.
Well, Larry, you're the only one who had to throw down a gauntlet, Larry.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
That was that last part was kind of a challenge there. It's like,
oh my God. Well, let's take it out. My God.
No. Oh no. We're not taking it out. And Larry, honestly, this is really just a way for us to talk about the website.
Yeah, it's a plug.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
It's really just a plug, Larry. I wouldn't take it too seriously.
I'll be touching base with Stephanie.
No, you are not. No, you are not
changing it. Now people are going to go to that. Now people are going to go to the site.
No.
So, in fact,
go to the
now
website before it changes. It'll be
What is this going to be like, the Larry Strothe bio special edition?
It's been canceled. It's been canceled now.
Larry, I don't want you to change your bio because I don't want you to change you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
But you
gave me something to talk about the website.
Yeah.
But you see, look, people change in life.
We're still waiting for that change.
We all change. Hopefully for the better. We learn from our mistakes, and of course, some mistakes might be larger than others. But we learn from them.
This one isn't that large. Just want to point that out.
Who wants to be that person that says, "No, I want to keep that mistake there. Forget it." No.
But Larry, here's the thing. Is that
there's no more thing.
No, there's a thing. Larry, since you wrote that, we need to take you up on that offer. Because if you've offered us all this joy and wonder, bring it. I say bring it, sir.
Right.
That means we have to watch The Last Avatar?
Yes,
eventually. Yes.
That's
what?
Yes,
James.
See, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect example of a way till it comes to streaming. Perfect example.
But it's like I don't know why you guys are so. I want to see it.
Because we don't like the movies, Larry. You can't accept the fact, Larry. You can't accept the fact that people have different opinions of movies. Can you understand that not everybody likes the movies you like?
Sean,
where's your sense of wonder, Larry?
Where's your why aren't you wondering why people are seeing this?
Enjoying the wonder of the
Larry, did you see the last Avatar film? Did you see it?
No, not yet.
See, Larry, that's really interesting to me. The only reason you haven't seen, the only reason you didn't rush out to see it in the first week is because guess what, Larry? this Avatar underperformed. Oh my God.
Did it
didn't
really?
make as
I don't
much
know
money.
anything
Yeah,
about it.
It was considered a disappointment.
Yeah.
So Larry, your logic is it didn't make gangbusters money. It must not be that good.
Ooh.
So you're
Didn't win an
waiting to
Oscar.
see it now. Whereas the other two, they did huge. I got to see this. I got to see. It must be a great movie because it made tons of money. It's not the case. I'm going to wait till it comes to streaming and I will watch it like usual in about 3 or 4 sessions. There's no way I can sit through those films in one go.
No.
So you have difficulty sitting through like 10 Commandments or Lawrence of Arabia.
No, because those are great movies.
Those are good
Because
movies.
Those are good
Those are great
movies.
movies.
Yeah,
Those are
you're going to
good
compare
movies.
those movies. You're going to compare those movies to the Avatar.
Oh
films?
my God! Wow.
Jesus Christ, Larry.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, you're right
Wow.
there. Same thing. They're just both equally as good. I mean, what the hell, Larry?
For listeners, I don't listeners, I want to apologize for this episode going on so long because I actually thought we were done about 30 minutes ago.
We had to end with some good
We've
juicy
just gotten
bone picking.
started.
At this moment, let's
Yeah.
take a moment to jump on Larry, and we'll save this for our Avatar episode. Which,
Hey,
which
I'm
we'll
willing to do an
down the
episode.
road.
I'm willing to go off.
But this episode has been great. It's
It
been
has
a lot of
been.
It
fun.
was fun. It was
It
a
has
lot of
been.
fun.
And I'm sure other listeners out there will feel the same way about many of these things that we brought up.
I'm sure.
If not, let us know. Go to our website or go to us on Facebook and let us know what you think. Do you have a bone to pick?
Your own
What is
bones
your
to
pet
pick.
peeve?
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Tell
Yeah.
us if you agree.
Yeah. Are you lacking a sense of fun and wonder? And
Oh,
if you are, then
Right
I
to-
think we have a spigot.
Yeah.
You're not going to let me end this show, are you?
Yeah, I will. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you end it.
James,
To ask me what I'm doing.
No. Is there anything you want to shit on now, James?
No.
No? You sure?
All good, Larry.
No, this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Great.
So yeah, I'll be appearing on Monster Party in the next few weeks, and be sure to check that out. I'm going to be at Monsterpalooza, and yeah, that's coming up as well. And if you happen to go to the local Y, I'll be in the hot tub, and the only reason I'm going to be there is to meet you.
Well, guys, this has been great.
Yes, it has.
Yes, been.
And I think we've talked enough. But what do you say we raise our glasses and give a toast to Monster Party's bone picking and a sense of wonder.
Cheers.
Here.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. Bone picking shout out.
Shout out.
Speaking of a sense of wonder, I had the opportunity to go to WonderCon last weekend in Anaheim,
Oh,
Cool.
where I got to hang out with several of our good friends.
Nice.
yeah.
Pasher House,
Oh,
wonderful
Pasher.
artist.
Painter.
All right,
Nice
Pastor.
guy.
wonderful artist. It was great to see him.
I
and,
miss him.
Yeah, and he's doing less body painting now, and he's getting more into actual painting, like artworks.
Oh, wow. Cool.
He gifted me a beautiful Phantom of the Paradise print because he knew it was one of my favorite movies.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Also got to hang out with Scott Rogers, game designer,
Oh, Scott.
big Batman fan, and it was wonderful to hang out with Scott as well. And of course, Josh Gilliland and the Legal Geeks
Josh.
had a really fun panel on the Fallout series, which I'm not really familiar with, but the panel was fun.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
So yeah, it was great to hang out, and everyone I hung out with mentioned that they've been listening to recent episodes of the show, which is always kind of flattering that these are busy people, and it's always flattering to me that they take the time and let us know that they actually enjoy the show. So I really appreciate that.
Cool.
Yeah, and even Angela McNichols, she said something on Patreon to the effect of that, like, our shows are just as great as they were when we first started.
Oh,
And I love that. That's so nice to hear. And I really
Yes.
feel like lately we're kind of on this roll. I just feel it. Like we're,
yeah. Yeah.
it's like the energy level and everything is up. And
Yeah.
and they've been really fun. They've been really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That sense of wonder we've all been giving off is just
There's been a sense, that's the
amazing.
thing, is I feel like there's been a sense of wonder radiating.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of
Like
these episodes.
like sunlight.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And you know what, guys? I would like to give a very special shout out to our own cast member, James GONIS.
Oh,
Because James works so hard editing our videos. He
Yes.
will do a lot of work on these videos. And it's not just, cutting scenes together. He will go and look for images and photos of posters and just anything that can make the video pop a little bit more.
Right.
And he's creative and he's funny. And he just recently did an amazing job on this new Patreon talk show that I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And he did the funny title sequence and an end segment and just really just made me very happy. And I feel like he's kind of an unsung hero. A guy who is doing all this amazing work. And, and sometimes we need to draw attention to the magician behind the scenes. So
That's right.
Making me blush.
that's what I'm trying to do. Because I like to see that red in your cheeks.
Well, I appreciate that, Matt, and it's a lot of fun editing these, and I'm actually, I think, growing as an editor with learning the program.
Yeah,
and,
really.
Yeah.
And if I could do that and do nothing else, that's what I would do. And yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm glad that our Patreon subscribers are enjoying it, and yeah, I look forward to more every month as they come about.
Yeah. And I also want to give another little shout out to Larry Stroth, our own Larry Stroth.
Yeah.
A little
Larry's-
shout out. Yes.
Larry, well, because no,
No,
and
you can.
I think,
It can be a little shout out.
I think you'll
Because
understand
I'm
this.
consistent.
It's not as big as
plugging away.
James's. It's not as big as James's
It can
shout out,
be. It can be.
but it's a shoutlet.
Yes. I mean, I can't do like an hour, 20-minute thing of Larry's toy time, like Matt's blah, blah, blah. I mean,
No. Larry, because Larry's toy time is genius. But what I'm talking about is what Larry will do is Larry, when James or somebody else has a video, he will come in and do quality control. And he's very good at that. And he's a very good, and I guess it's just the training of filmmaking and through his life and his job, where he's able to go like, okay, we need a little music here. It'd be nice to have another little photo here, and that needs to be cut a little tighter. And he's very succinct and great at it. And then Sean will just go, yeah, that's good. And
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just post it. It's fine.
yeah, he does. He's yeah, that's good. And then so that's like the final,
It
the
can't be
chairman
up
of the board coming down
until
and going,
until I sign off on it. Right?
Well,
Sean, what do you think? And we're all like sitting at his feet going, what does Sean think?
Yes.
Matt, I would like to second your shout out to Larry, because he has been so consistent with these wonderful toy times.
Yeah. Well, because you can,
Yes.
at the top of your head,
also-
Larry, you can just go off on these, and you're good at that. Yeah.
And I don't edit those. Those are edited by Kathy, Larry's daughter.
right.
who's doing
That's
an
right.
amazing
So
job.
we need to give her a shout out.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
we
true.
do. We need to
Big
give
shout out to
a shout
Kathy.
out.
Kathy
Yeah,
Stroth
that's true.
deserves a huge shout out.
Yes, indeed.
Not a shoutlet,
No.
a shout out.
But
right.
I think for listeners, the point of this would be for Patreon, we really try to put a lot into these videos for you.
Yeah, the extra stuff.
We really
extra
do.
bonus
We enjoy
content,
doing it. We have a lot of fun, and there's so many other new things that we're coming up with in the next few months and stuff. But we try to put as much into this as we can for you guys.
Yeah,
That's right.
and we're having fun doing it.
Of course. Yeah, it's great.
Well, you know which eBay vendors package stuff up really, really nicely when we send it to customers? That would be our own Monster Party.
Yes.
Monster Party merch
Yep.
on our eBay store, which is called, you guessed it, Monster Party Store, and it will be lovingly packaged. We're talking about the Monster Party t-shirts of different varieties. We're talking about the Monster Party shot glass, the legendary Monster Party baseball cap, the Monster Party PPE cloth mask. And hey, if you buy merch from our eBay store and also happen to be a Patreon member, we will throw in free surprise goodies courtesy of our good friends Jason Lindsay at Biff Bang Pow Toys and foam fabber extraordinaire Ted Haynes.
Two men who, when it comes to talent and generosity, we've picked their bones clean.
Yeah.
And as Matt has mentioned, the website for Monster Party is brand new, spanking new. It's monsterpartyhq.com. That's where you can find everything Monster Party. All of our episodes are available to listen to from there. All our merch, Matt's blogs, my film reviews, all the TeePublic stuff, everything. It's all there. Don't go anywhere else on the internet. Just stay on the Monster Party website. Go.
Okay.
And I will make an announcement right here. I'm going to start contributing a blog as well.
Yay!
In the spirit of this episode, and it's going to be called The Curmudgeon Conundrum.
Oh,
Nice! Yay!
Title thanks to Matt's suggestion.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a novel.
I should hope so.
It's going to be my therapy.
Oh my God, what a great idea.
And don't forget that through our Monster Party website, that's where you can get all our TeePublic merch, all our Monster Party inspired designs on t-shirts, tote bags, stickers, etc. It's really cool stuff. Classic vintage monster and sci-fi related images and designs, all kinds of cool stuff. So check it out at teepublic.com. And if you have not yet, please vote for Monster Party for Best Podcast for the Rondo Hatton Awards.
Yeah.
We are honored once again to be nominated, and we would love to get your vote. We really would love to win a Rondo this year.
We're gonna win.
We were so close.
It would be so awesome.
close.
Yes.
We're always a bridesmaid. Would love to be a bride.
But I feel this year it could happen.
It could happen.
We need your help.
Yes,
Please.
you can go to rondoaward.com, or you can go right to our Monster Party website and vote from there. You can cut and paste your vote right there on our website. So please check it out. We really appreciate it. The voting ends on May 1st, so you have until then to put in your vote for Monster Party. And while you're at it, vote for all the other great submissions, all the other great nominees for all the different categories for horror and sci-fi. But please vote for Monster Party for podcast.
We'd appreciate it. Now, we've talked a lot about this Patreon thing, but guys, you've heard me vent. You know how much is bugging me and how frustrated and really furious I've been at all the bullshit I've encountered. It's all surrounded. You can't possibly expect me to remember what this Patreon thing is all about. Can you please refresh my memory?
So, much like how Larry Strothe fills us all with his sense of wonder, Patreon fills you with a sense of Monster Party bonus content. Now, we're talking content like our exclusive audio episodes, our special shows like Monster Party Masterpieces, Monster Party on the Road, and our popular Toy Time series. And my new off-the-cuff talk show, Blah, 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 with Matt Weinhold. We also have our behind-the-scenes convention footage, our legendary Japan trip video diary, and vintage horror and sci-fi fiction edited by our resident Lyscarian, John Bordeaux, and more.
Well, Matt, that sounds fantastic, but I got to tell you, I'm saving all the money I can to buy a bucket of popcorn at the multiplex. So I don't know if I can afford this bounty. How much does it cost?
Okay, so for the price you would pay for James Cameron's 2026 Lost, Cold, and Hungry Kitten calendar, you could become a Monster Party patron. And that price is $5. $5 a month.
That's pretty good. You can't get a soon to be on the black market action figure of Slave Leia for that price.
It's going to be a lot more.
Wow. Well, I can't be upset about that. How do I sign up?
Well, all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click join, and the next thing you know, you'll be as happy as James Gonis with a brand new pair of walking out of movie shoes.
And speaking of gripes and grievances, we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV, Blue Sky, Twitter, now X, and Instagram at Monster Party HQ. And wherever you're listening to us, please take a moment and send us your thoughts. We would love another iTunes review. And however you get it to us, we would love to hear it, and we will read it on the air.
And we won't just read your review. We'll give it to Reptilicus just to cheer him up. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm SHAWN Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong!
And if you have your own bone to pick, share it with us.
And don't fade out on this podcast. When I was watching Lisa and the Devil and I saw that fade out, it was ridiculous. I knew Mario Bava did not add that fade out.
coming to me.
See, I had to get this.
You see what you started?
This is Larry Strode singing West Side Story.
Do.
You know what? And it's making me very happy. How do you like that?
Because look, there was a time I remember when I wanted to be in West Side Story so badly. I wanted to play riff so badly. This buddy of mine and I, we listened to the album over and over and over. And
right.
And you're not going to believe this.
I think I will.
Okay, so just in a nutshell, well,
good. Doesn't have to be in a nutshell.
I'm in really good shape, as a young
I've seen the pictures.
I'm thinking my voice is really good, and there's this great theater organization, and they're going to put on West Side Story, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is my chance. This is my role. It. So I go and audition, and it is for like the San Jose Children's Musical Theater, and in San Jose.
How old were you about?
I was 15, 16, and
Okay.
I thought for sure I was going to get the part of Riff. But here's what happened. So
you didn't get it.
Hang on, Sean. Hang on.
Don't make the story longer.
So there are these guys I see. They're a bit more muscular than I am. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, what are these guys doing? Whatever. And so they had us all read for Riff and Bernardo and stuff. And then it came time to read for Chino. Now, do we all remember Chino? Chino is Bernardo's like best friend. He only has a few lines. But at the end, he's the one who shoots Tony. He's the one who kills Tony.
Right.
So they had us, they go, okay, I want you guys to read for Chino. And I'm like, what the? Chino? All right, I'll read for Chino. So one by one, each of the guys goes up and they have to read this line where Maria says, Chino, what happened to Tony? What happened to Tony? And in the movie, in the film, Chino looks at her with terror, like she's only concerned about Tony. And he yells at her, he killed your brother, and he pushes her. It's a really
giving away the whole movie.
It's a real emotional scene.
A boy like that, he killed your brother.
That's right.
Yes.
Get that boy and find another.
Check this out. So the audition is happening, and guy after guy after guy, they go up and they say the line, he killed your brother. Like that. And I'm all, that's bullshit. And I get up there, and what do? I go all out, and I go, he killed your brother. And I push the girl who was playing Maria, and they're like, oh.
I think I know what happened here.
Guess who got the role of Chino?
The one who didn't assault the lady.
No, I got the role of Chino.
Whoa, cool.
So I'll just say this. So here I'm thinking I'm a little buffed, but there are guys who are more buffed than me. I get the role of Chino. The guy who's the most buffed gets the part of Riff, the part that I wanted. Okay.
Was Riff the Russ Tamblyn character?
Yes.
That is correct. Yes.
So I gave it my all. I did a great job. We had a really great performance, several performances. 20 years later, I'm going to this wedding of a friend of mine, and I find out that she's related to the guy who played Riff. And I'm like, oh my God. And I couldn't wait to see him. And I get there and I see him, and he's so scrawny and thin. And I looked at him, I go, what happened to you?
I have a feeling this is going in a very unpleasant direction.
Well, he goes, well, Larry, I worked out a lot, but, I kind of, I hurt my knee. And I'm like, and I didn't start to berate him, but, it kind of made me feel good that, 20 years later, look at you now, you scrawny little, there's no way you can play Riff now.
Now, I hate to go there, but what if he had said, well, I've been battling AIDS, and I'm saying it could have been an uncomfortable situation.
Moments. Yeah.
Or if he said, well, Larry, I had cancer. Well, guess what, Matt? He didn't say either of those. It was such a pathetic excuse.
But maybe he said that because he didn't want to tell you the real reason.
Right.
No.
James, you think this is possible, right?
No.
Sure.
No. But I got my own theatrical revenge in a way. because
You got your equity card? Is that what happened?
no,
You
no,
got into
because
fame school?
at this Hollywood party, there was a performance of they were going to
Okay.
do Grease, and
Yeah.
guess who got to play Danny Zuko? Yes,
Ooh.
me.
Wow.
Moi. So
Did you ever
which is
see
like
me?
one
Did you ever see me on television, Larry, doing my West Side Story bit?
of-
Ooh,
no,
I guess not.
I recall you on a
Television.
Japanese.
On
I recall you on a
television.
Japanese game show where you had
Yes.
5,000 figures.
Yeah, I know, and being told they're all garbage
Oh.
I think that's a little
by
harsh.
the head of.
No,
Yeah, no, I remember on the show.
I was
Larry
there.
grabbed one of my figures, sniffed it, and dropped it in a toilet.
See,
He
this
brought
is-
his
What?
own toilet to flush it on the show. That's how much he hates my figures.
No, that's not true. And see, when you do stuff like that, people go, "Oh shit, Larry, that is so cruel." I wasn't like that.
Let's keep these rumors going. but see now my West Side Story bit, which was one of my early like, hey, this works kind of bits, and I would say, most of the kids I knew growing up learned to fight by watching kung fu movies and boxing movies. I learned to fight by watching West Side Story. So so the kids would be on the school like, "Woo, ah!" And I'd be like, "When you're a jet," and I was doing the little dance where they go on
Yeah.
the toe and they kind of exactly. That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah. And then hilarity ensued. And look at me now. Look at the shape I'm in now.
I know. No, you're getting
coming
pretty
back.
beefy there. No, you're doing a thing.
Very quickly, going back to West Side Story, I just want to know. So the West Side Story was at what theater that you were doing it at?
It was called the San Jose Children's Musical Theater.
Children's Musical Theater. Okay.
Yeah, and I say the word children's, but there were
That's
no
right. Yeah,
children.
40-year-old children. It was a different time,
No.
and a lot of people had
No,
vans and puppies.
Because if you were under 18, you were still considered a
Okay.
child. So these are people young. I want to say kids who were.
That's
in
not my bone
high
to pick.
school. They were in high school.
Here's my question. Here's my question. So you got the role of Chino.
Yes.
Was this a time that San Jose had no Hispanic people?
Not in the play that I was in.
Huh.
I know what you're I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
I'm assuming there were no Hispanic people who decided, hey, I'm going to go to the Children's Musical Theater and spend some time.
The Sharks. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Larry, don't even try. Don't even try. You can't talk here. This is too much heavy lifting for you alone.
Hey, let me
This
just
is not
say,
your fault.
Look.
Yeah.
There were a lot of kids that tried out, and
they
were from a certain
the shitty ones happen to be Puerto Rican
neighborhood. So
interesting. Wow, this gets better and better. Monster Parties, West Side Story mystery.
I still have my program, with my little picture.
I want to say I would love to see that.
You got to post that.
No, there was footage.
No, we're not posting.
I'm a fan of young you. I think to see you
just a young
dance or do your thing. I think that would have been very impressive. I would love to see that.
But
did anybody videotape it?
Did you put? Yeah.
I'm sure there was. Look, and let me just.
Did you put makeup on to look Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
Puerto Rican.
I did.
Brown face.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So you did like a Charlton Heston touch of evil kind of thing.
Look. I know what you guys are thinking. Look, we, as these kids, it's like we had to look. I'm a white pasty guy. So,
but there are people who are born, Hispanic.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Well, whoever tried out couldn't deliver a performance like I did. Okay, and it's all about performance, and that's what our director was. John Healy.
Okay,
he was well known.
Tell D.W. Griffith that.
We're not going to get into our D.W. Griffith chat, are we?
It's one of my bones to pick, but
well, we can save that for another time. I'm just saying that John Healy was he was kind of a celebrity in the San Jose area because he was actually a teacher. He taught acting and musical theater at one of the schools, and then he would do the San Jose Children's Musical Theater, and where a lot of kids would try out, he would do like 4 of these giant musicals, perform in different high schools around the area. And
was he related to Ted Healy?
Oh
no, Sean, I don't believe he
I'm
was.
just curious.
But
bring some of those Ted Healy chops.
I will say this: he was
beat up a guy.
He was incredibly talented. He was a great actor. He was a
I'm
wonderful
sure he was.
singer. And my first job as a theater attendant at Marriott's Great America in San Jose, I was a theater attendant for John Healy's production of The Music Man, which was all professionals, and he played a Professor Harold Hill, and he was.
Wow.
I had to watch.
Did you do that in brownface? I'm just curious. Did they?
No, I was a theater attendant clown. I just had to, make sure people had pillows so they could sit comfortably on their seats and
Hey, mister, are you comfortable?
See, what makes you think I'm
Do you need a pillow?
I'm not. And look, I wasn't Speedy Gonzalez. I wasn't. Hey, Maria. No, I didn't do that. I was very respectful.
No, you did lower. We did a lower voice of that.
This is okay. I'm not sure this is really going where I want it to go. I played other roles. I played other things.
I have no doubt, Larry. This is more of an indictment of the time, not you.
No.
Maybe a little bit of the theater, but look, hopefully things have changed a bit and they continue to change, although my hopes aren't high. Now,
bullshit.
Okay, so let's start this thing and Monster Party's Bone Pickers. I like it.
Bone Daddies. Okay, let's do it.
I kind of like it.
I like
myself.
it. No, I like it. It's catchy. It's hip. It's cool.
It's hip. It's now. Unger.
No, I agree, and it's
and we'll clarify in the description.
We'll clarify it.
When we,
you know what? Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't. Hey, welcome to Bone Pickers. You just gotta figure out what we're gonna do.
That's right. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Moment of silence. Here we go.
Wait, no.
Wait a minute. What happened?
So who's gonna?
Who's gonna introduce the guest?
No, there's a guest.
Yeah, well, it's me doing one of my Hispanic characters. I think you'll enjoy it.
Please don't do that. Don't do.
Not.
I will. I will
not.
be mortified if you do that.
I won't.
And then you go, hey, listen to the bloopers, everybody.
All right, Bone Pickers. Here we go. Is everybody ready now?
Yep.
And was your question answered, Larry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, you'll introduce the topic and explain what's going on, and then we just go to it.
Thank you, Sean.
And Larry, just so you know, like we edit this. It's not like it's live, so don't worry.
Yeah. And Larry, if you have to go to the bathroom, yeah. And let's say you say something about John Landis.
Yeah. It's like, that John's an asshole. Don't
John
worry,
Landis.
cut it out.
He no good.
I just want to say that you may have a routine. It's easy to go into the routine and everyone the guests get it. Okay.
No, you know what? You do excellent work.
So instead of saying John Landis, I got to go. So if Brian De Palma, say, Brian De Palma was a jerk, or George Lucas,
William Bendix,
what, or John Barry.
Oh, that curly Joe Dorita, man, he was an asshole.
Oh man, and Ted Healy.
Just because he plays Jesus.
Ted Healy played Jesus? That I'd like to see.
Curly Joe played Jesus?
No, you're thinking of what the hell? Ted Neely.
Yes, you're right. I stand corrected.
But Ted Healy as Jesus would be great.
No, I'm admitting that.
And then the Stooges, the Three Stooges meet Jesus.
Three wise men.
Why wasn't that? Yeah.
Why wasn't that made?
Sean, can you imagine?
Spread out.
Oh my God. Joseph and Mary. No.
Who's going to take care of the brat?
No. This is great because Mary and Joseph would be played totally straight.
Right.
And you have
yes,
the Stooges as the three wise men. I would pay good money to see that. That would be hilarious.
A Christmas Story with the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Surprised they
I mean,
didn't do
think
that.
of the journey that they would go on.
I love it.
And then
Let's write it.
You know, Mo could get mad at Curly for getting directions wrong. He goes, no, this is the right place.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is a major? Who the hell is it? A shitty major? You know.
And then like some of the rejected Stooges or the ex ones, you know, like we could have like Joe Dorito, we could have Joe Besser, Shemp could show up as Satan maybe, or
Of course, yeah, in a little devil outfit.
Oh my gosh! I just learned about fake Shemp, by the way. I didn't know that there was a fake Shemp. I just learned that.
Yeah, fake Shemp.
I had.
Yeah.
where's
there was-
fake Shemp?
Sh-
Oh, because he got
Shemp,
sick
yeah.
or something?
Shemp died.
I don't know the
Well, no,
reason why.
He died, but they took they filmed segments as if Shemp was in them. Like they had only certain footage of him left. So a lot of there's the later ones, like before Joe Besser showed up, they had it was like a stand-in, like it was just to show
from
his back.
behind.
They were like avoid
It's
showing.
not like
it.
Weekend at Bernie's or anything.
You would
It's-
hear,
but it was really
you would
awkward
hear-
and terrible.
You would hear maybe the Shemp voice,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you would only see the back of him with the hair, and they
Yeah.
would react to him facing the camera.
It's like what Ed Wood did with Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, pretty
There you
much.
go. Right.
It's,
right.
It's really
but
crazy.
Matt, I had no idea that was a thing.
yeah,
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. I never noticed as a child.
No, as a kid you don't, but then once you know, when you watch it,
All black and white people look the same to me. You know?
Yeah, all right.
Is
All right,
is
let's
that
go.
And that's not racist.
I was going to say, is that a jab at my chino?
No, man.
Bone pickers.
It's okay.
Sex and horror.
And by the way, Easter is just around the corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All of this very timely.
It's a little longer than you wanted, Matt. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
But I blame you.
I accept that blame.
I mean, you had an opportunity. We could have ended this a
It's
while
fine.
ago.
It's
So
fine.
when you're editing, you're going, fuck.
This one's more natural
I just
flow,
want
I
you
think.
to know
Hopefully,
you only have one person to blame, and it's yourself.
We're going to have an email from Matt at 5:30 in the morning, okay, to show his...
Damn me!
right.
Look, I'm always thinking of you. I'm always saying, well,
I know you are.
Rich,
I know
you know.
No,
oh,
you're great. You're great. No, you're
and you're like,
fantastic.
oh, I want to talk more. Blah 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 blah.